Man, it's all soft.
Get a
and
little
stuff, too.
blanket
Yeah,
and
we'll
just
get a
throw
blanket
it
for
on your
service.
shoulders.
So
Relax and throw the blanket on your shoulder. That's why I wore a hoodie, because it'd be cold as shit down
that's why
here.
that's why when you got here, I was like, I gotta throw on a different shirt.
I came prepared.
I should have brought mine. I forgot. It's
I'll
been a
go
minute.
get you a blanket.
No, man,
Should've
it's all right.
You should have just wore your leather jacket down here.
I should have, man. I should have.
God damn.
I actually got one.
Peace and blessings, kings and queens. My name is Jaquan Davis,
I am Nicholas Fletcher.
and you are now tuned in to another episode of. Next thing I knew, I was outside naked with a bucket and a squeegee. Today we have a special edition of the podcast. So kick back, relax, tune in. Let me borrow $20. We actually have our first guest, Mr. Cyrus Sweets. How you doing today, Cyrus?
I'm doing good. Excited to be here. I appreciate it. I've been listening to you guys for a little bit now, and yeah, I'm excited to be here.
Woo!
Glad to have you, man. Although this does change our dynamic a little bit, I am very interested to hear your opinion on some of our topics today.
Definitely.
I'm not at all, really.
Yeah, of course you're not.
Pretty trash opinion.
Yeah.
I got the worst opinion.
And you rap with me. So
So my taste is obviously disgusting.
pretty hurtful.
But so the first thing I think we should talk about today, you guys both being hip hop artists in the local scene, let's kind of delve into that a little bit. One of the things I'm curious about is, especially you, Cyrus, you being you're born and raised in Wyoming,
Right.
correct?
Yeah.
So I know with me, like I always identified most with the East region, being from the East.
Right.
Is there a region that you kind of gravitated towards, or how does
It just depends. So I was listening to one of you guys' podcasts, and you guys are kind of talking about the East and West and the South and all that.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of weird. It just depends. I like West Coast beats. Love West Coast beats. I even like West Coast flows. Majority of my music I listen to probably is West Coast, but I love East Coast rappers. Some of their beats, I'm like, dude, what are you doing?
Yeah.
But they do them justice to it, you know? Like they really do. East Coast flow is amazing. Their storytelling is amazing. But I think if I were to have to pick, East or West, it'd probably be more West Coast.
That's what
That
I
makes
Because you
sense.
started talking about East, I'm like, man, I feel like
Yeah.
like you're more of a West Coast guy.
Yeah, no, I get that, and
I'm just
it's
paying homage.
that's
Yeah.
one thing about the current scene, man. Is you don't have a different feel from different regions so much anymore.
you're right.
Like there's
Everything
a
just
dude, this dude named Rich the Kid. I heard some songs from him. I figured he was from like down south somewhere, or maybe even like Chicago or something. This dude is from Queens,
Really?
and I'm like, where? Like, what is
Really?
it?
I
You know,
didn't.
how-
I wouldn't have got that from
Yeah,
Rich.
you're absolutely right, because in the past you would have say play an MC and I'd be able to tell you like where they were from. I'd be
Yeah.
like,
As
oh,
soon
that's
as
a-
their beat
Yeah,
dropped,
yeah,
as soon
exactly,
as soon
yeah.
as their
Their
hook
flow
came
delivery.
in, or that snare came in, or drums, whatever, man.
and now
you knew where it
everything
was at.
everything's just wavy. Now that new
Yeah.
wavy era. and stuff.
Excellent. So, what about you, Nick? What region did you identify most with?
I feel like you know the answer to this.
Well,
I
we
mean, you
wanna
do,
say
but the audience doesn't.
North.
Yeah, absolutely.
Up north.
I love the North.
Why would
Northern
why would I
rappers.
tell you stuff on our podcast?
Bro, Canadian rappers kill it.
Love them.
Fire, bro.
Love 'em.
There's actually some pretty dope Canadian rappers.
There is, absolutely.
But I would have to say, for me, hands down, it would be the East. When I first got involved in hip hop and started becoming a fan, I fell in love with like New York culture in itself. Like, I was listening to like Biggie and Wu-Tang, and I would listen to them like the way because they paid homage to like the streets they grew up on and stuff. And like me being a little suburb white kid from Wyoming, I'd like just envision it in my head, like the bustling of like the concrete jungle setting and stuff. And like to me, it's part of what I attach to hip hop culture.
I actually got something really disrespectful about Wu-Tang I want to share real quick.
Oh gosh,
It's gross. So I'm just getting introduced to hip hop and all that. My older brother, he had a Wu-Tang CD, and I'm just starting to get into rap. So I put it in, and I'm listening, and I'm not finding like anything that I'm vibing with, because I'm not listening for the lyrics. I'm young. I'm very young.
Yeah.
I'm listening more or less for beats. Had no idea that they were legends, and that it's probably the most iconic rap group outside of NWA in hip hop, So man, just real disrespectful towards them.
Isn't it crazy how like your opinion might be different if there's no outside influence? Like you just had no idea that these are multi-platinum, biggest artists in the world, and you just listen and just, hey, it's a CD, and it's like, it don't really do it for me. Do you know who that is? That's Wu-Tang. How do you not love Wu-Tang?
Right.
So know, I
What's
get it.
crazy is he had the Eminem CD next to it too, and I started listening to the Eminem CD, and I was like, yo, I like the Eminem CD. They had no idea who the guy was.
Yeah.
But I'm
Really?
listening,
I
trying
didn't
to
know
listen to
it's
the
your first
Wu.
introduction.
Yeah. Well, no, just my real first was believe it or not, No Limit.
Really?
So yeah,
Oh,
that's
gosh.
I got started off on No Limit Records, man. Master P and all them.
They were running.
Murder.
They were running the game at one
Yeah.
point in time, man. Them guys and who I think is probably top 5 worst rappers ever, Silk the Shocker.
Oh my God.
gosh,
Talk about
man.
Are you being like serious?
No, he
Yes.
is trash,
Oh,
bro.
really?
You never
Okay.
have you never
No.
heard him?
Oh, my
We'll
God.
have to show you after we're done recording.
You
man.
can't
He was
play.
bad.
You can't play, man. I even tried to give him a chance just recently. Actually, that's crazy. Last year, I was like, let me try giving Silk a little more. I asked Siri to put on some Silk the Shocker and nothing, man. Just nothing.
Like, well,
Yeah,
he's
he's just like, oh god, and it's so weird. Like, what does Silk the Shocker mean? Like, what does that mean? You're gonna shock us with your terrible bars,
Right,
and
terrible.
delivery. Like, what does it mean? I can't believe you never heard him, man.
Yeah,
You're
no.
familiar with Mystical, aren't you?
yeah, absolutely.
Okay,
yeah,
Mystical,
Mystical's
Master P,
dope, man.
Yeah,
I-
Mystical's dope to this day.
Well,
yeah.
and I think that's why this is a cool like topic to talk about because for like the hip hop culture in general, let alone to reach like Wyoming, I always find people's story interesting of how they got introduced to hip hop.
Yeah.
And not only that, but like particular artists. Because you bring up Mystical, my first introduction to Mystical, where I was like, damn, this dude's dope, is I used to watch Jet Li movies, and Mystical tracks would be the fight scene music.
That makes sense.
Yeah,
Actually, I can see his a song.
He's hype.
plays- Yeah,
Yeah, because his
absolutely.
music would be hype, and yeah, Mystical tracks would play, and I'd be like, man, this is dope. Like,
Yeah.
fight some ninjas to it. Like,
I remember watching him on Cedar's World and the
Cedar's
basement.
World.
Remember that?
Yes,
Yeah.
BT, old school BT,
Yes.
Rap City, all that.
Back when it was good, you know, when
Yeah.
you could actually watch hip hop and all that fun stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I do miss that type of stuff, but those things don't even work in today's format. Like stuff like TRL and those sort
Right.
of things, it wouldn't work now because one, people don't got the attention span,
Yeah.
Right.
and then two, like music videos ain't what they were at that
No,
point in
man, no,
time,
they
you
weren't.
know. You hear somebody just dropped a new video for whatever song you love off the album, you can't wait to catch it. You know?
Right.
Nowadays, it doesn't really work that way anymore. But so let me ask you guys this: you two are pretty much the pillars of the rap scene in our community.
thank you.
You know, you know. So
Oh, we got to shout out like the Crook too.
yeah, shout out to
Crook.
shout out to
and
Crook.
Zach.
Zach and like
Can't-
Navarre and
the
stuff.
Nuzu, man. The
Yeah,
Nuzu.
yeah.
Yeah, shout
Definitely
out.
shout out to Navarre.
Yeah, Navarre.
Yeah, man, that's it's pretty dope. If I say so myself, did you guys picture it being the growth that you've had so far? Like it's kind of a movement,
Yeah,
man. Like, you know?
I was pretty surprised. I was pleasantly surprised. So, from my perspective, when we kicked back, like way back,
Yeah.
there was like no scene here.
Right, right.
Laughed at. You got laughed
Yeah.
at.
Oh yeah,
and
a
the-
Wyoming rapper. What?
Yeah.
And the biggest it went even locally was like people would like, oh, I rap, and they would like get drunk and rap it.
Oh,
like, a party.
gosh.
Yeah, like I
It'd
got
be
a friend that
terrible.
does
Yeah,
that. I ain't
shout
gonna- I ain't
out.
gonna-
I was gonna
I ain't
say,
gonna
that's
drop
right.
his
You can
name. No, I ain't gonna do you like that, brother. You know who you
He
are.
knows right now. He's like, these motherfuckers. No, but anyway, so like outside of just being like, yeah, I rap. And then I feel like, and maybe, you know, there might be some other local artists who were doing it back then who were like, hey, I was doing the same thing, but I didn't really see it. They weren't putting it on Main Street.
Mm-hmm.
And we started to really start, like we started putting CDs
Mm-hmm.
together, bought a studio, all these different things. And then we put on the first hip hop show in Rock Springs, Wyoming.
Very
first show.
See, that's dope. Stuff
yeah.
like that.
Well,
is-
and that bro, and that even that show is a cool story. Like, so the cool thing about that is, I got introduced to this lady through a friend of mine who was he was doing like theatrics and stuff, and so she ended up through that. Just gonna out myself. I was in a play because
He's that guy.
Yeah.
He's that guy.
Yeah, I was. Hey, you know what's funny? I was like, well, I guess I shouldn't be, but I was like a disembodied spirit voice. I had like 2 lines. It was funny because I went to the audition to support my homie Colin. I'm just gonna shout him out.
Oh, shout out Colin. Yeah,
And
yeah.
I went to support Colin, and she was just like, "Hey, you should audition too." And I'm like, "I'm not here for that. Like, I don't have an interest in acting, whatever." And she's like, "Yeah, read this." And I like read it poorly, probably like fumbled over it, and she was like, "You're in." And so I got cast as like a disembodied spirit voice in this like really
I
strange
remember
play.
there's another layer to this story that you told me about, but I won't touch on
Oh
that.
yes, there is another layer to this story. Absolutely.
I think I know. Just call me crazy, but I feel like I know.
I feel like you definitely know.
I feel like we all know.
I feel like you know.
So now there's we're all getting older. Now there's a younger generation, probably like 10, 15 years younger than you guys that are rapping. Is there anybody you guys heard and you're like, okay, he's dope, you know?
Yeah, a bunch of them. So like speaking of the hip hop, you know, like the growth that it got from this scene, it's awesome seeing the younger do it. Some of like my cousin, you know, my little cousin,
he's dope,
he grew up watching us come over to his mom's house, recording in his mom's house, or coming over and around, you know. So watching him get into music, and he's good.
Yeah, and he's
really
talented.
good.
And he is a lot of that new style. Like,
Yeah.
he's got a lot of that new wave.
Gibbo and all those guys.
You know, shout out 3H7, like 3H7, because all those guys.
All them boys is doing it. What's that other light skinned brother's name? I can't think of it. But he's good too. Damn, what's his name?
Is it Anthony?
No, I don't think so. He hangs out with all of them.
Okay.
I think they all had like a little falling out or whatnot. But yeah, no, they're all good, man. It's awesome seeing the youngsters. I mean, why not? Just because we from Wyoming, we put ourselves down so much, and we don't need to. We need to be proud of where we're at and
honestly,
what we're
if
doing.
You're
You know,
skilled, man, it don't matter.
Well,
where
and
you're from.
that's
my
what,
thought on it.
before we transcend onto like the bigger topic of the large scale scene. I want to stick on Wyoming for a minute just to talk about like what it was like being like one of the like foot soldiers from the beginning and like ranking up to where it is being more accepted now.
It is,
like
yeah.
in some of the colorful things that took place. So like that show when we got it, the person who put on the play just put us in link with the Elks Lodge, who was like, yeah, you can put on a show here. So we're like, yo, our first show ever.
Yeah.
And some of the best times of my life.
oh man, practicing for that, man, was so awesome.
So
Man, we look
about, man,
forward to
I
it.
wish we would have like had like video footage of it and stuff, but we would just
Ghost
show up
hunting and stuff, just
we'd-
being, you know, really just cool stuff, man.
So we would do that, and I remember the night of the show, like we print up flyers. I mean, we went all out. We had shirts, we had like
Underwears.
Yeah, we had panties that we had to make. I remember
We had one
specifically-
pair that had our name on it that we can give to some random woman, whoever we wanted to. And then we had a bunch that had like just 307 rocked your bottom.
307 rocked
Yeah.
my bottom. was the
Yeah.
one.
That is clever as hell.
Yeah, 307 rocked my bottom.
It was
Rocked
awesome.
my bottom.
Yeah, so we had shirts and stuff. I remember we all dressed the same. Like
Yep.
we had our Jordan shorts and like our shirts. But I remember the thing that stands out the most is just aside from all those amazing memories, and shout out again to like Zach and Crook and
Yep.
like everybody,
Zach Walker.
yeah, Zach Walker and Edward and everybody involved.
Yep.
But what was cool is the show was getting ready to start and like nobody's there. Like
Nobody.
show starts at like 7. And nobody's there, so we're all like
Disappointed.
Yeah, we're like disheartened and, like
Man.
and stuff. So we go back in this alley, and the lady who was, I guess, managing kind of at the time.
Basically, she was our biggest supporter, man. She really was.
She was hardcore, bro. But we go back in like the alleyway at the back doors, and she gives us this like motivation speech because we're young, we're kids, man. We're like
20, 21.
we're
we're
kids,
younger,
yeah.
man. Younger mind state.
Yeah, so, and she's like, who cares who showed up? Even if 5 people showed up, like, this is the first, like, hip-hop show, you guys are gonna kill it. And so we're out there doing this, like, and we get all motivated, like, yeah. And she's like, now let's go start this show. And we walk inside, while we were outside, packed.
Yeah, everybody.
And so then, like, the dynamic shifted, because it went
Yeah.
from being, like, at first we were like, let down, nobody's here, but then kind of comfortable, like, oh, let's rock it. And then, like, anxiety for me.
Yeah.
I don't know about
Yeah,
you,
no,
but I'm like,
God.
oh,
I don't
boy.
know.
There's people here.
I've always enjoyed that. Like when I'm rapping, when I'm doing music, and if in front of somebody that's never seen me do music, I get like that adrenaline rush,
Yeah.
and I feel like that's some of my best content because I'm like, you got to show out. Like,
Yeah.
this is why
and I
you
feel
are
like,
here.
and I feel like we
dope.
killed it that night. And that's another thing. We meticulously planned it. We had like the sets, the songs fading into the other ones. Like it just everything was
good.
planned to like the T, and just such a dope like experience and amazing memories. But then evolving beyond that, so once I started kind of like, because the story of the New Zoo and all of us, which is very colorful, and I feel like if we really dove into it, that'd be the whole podcast.
yeah, we could
for hours.
Yeah,
But
Maybe we ought to dedicate a future episode to that.
To
If
that.
you want to come back, Cyrus.
Oh,
you
yeah,
can
I
let
think
us
so,
know.
yeah.
Definitely.
But just to
Definitely.
kind of give it a
Yes.
little bit of context, like we all started doing our own thing, but then also down the line started kind of splitting off and like doing other like side projects or solo projects or
Yeah.
whatever. But I started performing a lot, doing live performances, and I would get booked in like Colorado, Utah, like wherever I'd go, or like Strange Music would come down here, or like some of the Wu-Tang affiliates would come down here. And the biggest thing that kept happening to me is I do my set, and they'd come up and they'd be like, dude, where are you from? I'm like, born and raised Wyoming. And they're like, no, but like, where'd you grow up? And I'm like, yeah, born and raised Wyoming. And that was the thing to me that when it started to dawn on me, I'm like, yo, are you guys really like, you think we're just a bunch of like country bumpkins out here? They're like, yeah, and they really did. They were, this dude named Eternal from Wu-Tang. He's one of the affiliates, like Killer Bees.
Yeah.
But he, one time I did a show with him, and when I got off stage, he came up and he was just like gassing me up, like very flattered and stuff. And to him, it was just astounding that I was born and raised in Wyoming. And he wanted to know, like how did you hear hip hop here? And I'm like, bro, like,
yeah.
Well, there's this thing called internet,
yeah, exactly.
CDs, Hastings, like direct TV,
Exactly.
you know.
No,
But I've always found it cool too when those guys would come in, because you are on a larger scale than I am. You know, I definitely stepped away from it pretty heavy. I've been a dad since I was 17. You know, so a lot of that kind of changed where I was going and what I was doing. You know, especially with music. But I always thought I was awesome. Whenever I go talk to these guys, they would automatically know who I was. Oh, I heard of you, yeah. Because I used to go by Locks back in the day, and they was just like, oh yeah, that's cool. And now I go by Sweets Cane, obviously. You know, but yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I do think though. So before we move on to like bigger scale hip hop, to give, I guess we'll both give our 2 cents. But when it comes to local scene now, truly couldn't be more proud, man. Because when it started, it was us. Like it was us, and like nothing really extended beyond that. Now I'm seeing local artists and like Wyoming artists like do shit all the time.
Awesome.
My news feed is popping, and what's cool about it now is everybody's homies too.
Yeah,
like everybody's cool with it for the
not,
most
not,
part.
You know, like there's the beefs that go on.
Well,
you
there
know,
have been,
but
yeah.
and you know, not
I'll say it, all my beefs are squashed. I got no problem.
Well, I ain't got no beefs with nobody either.
That's
you know,
how you should
honestly,
live.
but. You know, I was a hater, and I for a long time I was like, if I don't feel like you're up on my caliber, then I don't even want to.
You were pretty, bro. You were
I'm like,
savage,
I'm
man.
not doing it.
You were
man.
pretty savage. Man.
You know,
You had no qualms being trash.
I had
no bad.
no
Oh
idea.
gosh. Wow, man, that's interesting. So let me ask, how do you guys feel about the current climate of hip hop music?
So I like to go. I think it's interesting. It's like clothes, right? Clothes are changing. We got to adapt with the damn clothes. We ain't got the same stuff that we got in high school or whatever you fell in love with. It's gone. Them shoes is gone. Them jeans are gone. All that, right?
Big ass clothes.
Yeah. Well, I don't really care for that as much, you know, as a working man. You got to keep your pants up with a belt on. You just you move and operate better.
Mature.
But it's different, you know, but it's some of it's enjoyable, others not so much, you know. And I guess it's more characters now. You're seeing characters coming back, like
personas.
We was just kind of talking about Tekashi a little bit, right? That's a character.
Yes,
that's a good point to bring up, because I was explaining to somebody that like Tekashi's music alone, I don't think would have really blown up. But like the fact that he dyed his hair like rainbow colored and put on the grill and tattooed his face, and then was getting on Instagram and being like fuck Biggie and Pac and and being like flagrantly ignorant, and that was kind of what launched him into the stratosphere. As he became this whole persona, opposed to just like, because me right now, I know way more about Tekashi than I ever want to.
Same.
And I don't know any of his music.
I don't follow him whatsoever, but people are always talking about this guy, man.
I don't know about it. I don't know. Tekashi, I followed him a little bit when he first started out, and I think I followed him because I'm like, this guy's gonna die.
I think everybody thought that when he was snitching on everybody.
Even before that, he was wilding out.
I was like, this guy, he's shooting at people. You know, he was the most scariest people in the world is wannabes.
Yeah,
those are the scariest, not gangsters. Not people that are really about their business. It's wannabes. Wannabes will do anything to try to prove that they're down for something. You know, and those are the scariest people to be around. They're unpredictable, you know. And I'm just sitting here watching this guy, and I'm like, man, he's in Chicago calling out people in all these different hoods. Yeah. You know, I'm like, he's gonna die.
About that.
Yeah, he's gonna die. That's what I thought, man.
Was it him who did? Oh God, I can't remember. But one of these new rappers, because that's the thing. Some of these rappers are beefing in a different way now. Now, granted, like Pac and Biggie had the whole like where Pac was like, I fucked your wife and all, pretty ignorant.
The most disrespectful.
But like a guy like went to like the rapper he's beefing with City for a show, and then went to like the graveyard to his homie's grave site and was like visiting the homie or something.
Yeah,
like,
see, that's just
it was some like
disrespectful,
low
man.
blow shit.
Wow.
I'm like, bro,
And I'm like,
and I forget who it was, but even the internet was like, man, like.
All these guys, man. If you're a rapper and you're on a large scale, don't be NYW with Melly.
Yeah,
Don't be what's his name? All these guys that kill somebody. See, murder's locked up for life.
Yeah.
Like
that one kid, Take K. Is it Take K? What is his name? I think it's Take K. Yeah, but
I'm not
the
familiar
one
with him.
oh, he's I think he's from Texas, but he had a song blow up a few years ago called The Race. He was like 17 at the time. Got on the hook for murder, and he is locked up for 55 years.
Yeah, that's
man.
crazy.
17.
Like put that stuff aside. You're talking about we all work. Whether you're a lot of those guys where they come from, I get it, but you're working, right? If you're slinging dope or drugs, whatever it is you're doing, that's your work.
Yeah.
You find a way out of it to where you can be legit, make more money, not having to worry about looking over your shoulder.
Exactly.
Why not? Why not set that life aside? I mean, get out of it. Bobby Schmurder just got out of jail.
Yeah.
He just did 6 years.
I think 6. Yeah.
A good example is watching that documentary last night. Is we were watching. So we watched the Biggie documentary, which we'll dissect at a later date. But you had these dudes who were like slinging crack, like with Biggie in New York, and like in deep in the game, and now they're interviewing him now, like present day, and they're like being very woke about how like bad it was, and like getting off the street, and like how it's not worth it, and when you meet, I think any real seasoned like thug, gangster, however you want to put it, who's been in there, and they've like, been blessed to like live,
get out,
like hasn't been slain or something like that. You end up seeing these people who are like very against like
most of it's a lie, man. Like when you do wake up, you do wake up one day, and you look at you believed in something so hard. I can relate with that. You believe in something so hard, and then when you look back, you're like, what was I even thinking?
Yeah.
Like,
what was I trying to prove? What was I doing? And it's just sucks. It's you fall victim to being a young man and a lot of your surroundings and who's surrounding you.
Because even jump back in the local scene, like when I first, I don't want to say met Cyrus, but like heard of Cyrus, I was horrified of him. Like Cyrus was a scary person to me when I was like younger, like in high school.
But I was a nice guy, man.
Not your reputation that I knew about back then.
I was all about hugging and loving, man. That's what I did, So I never broke the law.
But I will say kudos now because I've watched this man like blossom and I've seen you crawl from some pretty like far depths. Like that's been pretty astounding and like admirable to witness. So.
I appreciate that. So I feel like I can spit some knowledge to the youngsters. Like you said, like in today's state, especially in hip hop, man, you got an opportunity right in front of you. Get out, even if not in hip hop, in any walk of life, really, man. You got an opportunity to get out. Don't stay in that negativity, man.
One thing I think is terrible, man, is these dudes they come from the hood, they get on, they're making all this money, but they still feel like I think they fall into this trap. A lot of guys do. They still feel like, oh well, I'm getting all this money, life is great, but if somebody tests my gangster or they don't believe I'm really about what I'm rapping about, I gotta prove myself.
Exactly.
And you really don't, man. Like you won.
Exactly.
Like,
bro.
You won. Move forward, bro.
Yeah.
Like
a prime example of that is Tupac. Tupac spoke his stuff into existence, and look what happened to him. He died.
Yeah.
But not only that, he's like we'll talk about that on the episode where we break that down. But getting involved with Suge in that environment and started doing the thug life and spitting on reporters and shit. Like,
I just wanted to say real quick, I just feel like Tupac was brilliant and everything, but he kind of went backwards in life.
Yeah, you're not supposed to. You're not supposed to chase that.
Yeah,
you're supposed to get away from
exactly.
that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because dude, like I don't. From what I understand, like upbringing wise, like he went to Juilliard and stuff like that, and then obviously blew up in the stratosphere of hip hop, and then got more gangster than
it's wild, man.
Us as black men, especially us as black men, we're targeted. We really are.
Yes.
Not trying to touch on that a whole lot, but like we really are.
Hey,
and to put yourself in those kind of positions, man. It makes us look bad.
Exactly.
And it's just another target for no reason.
And it's so much worse when it's not even necessary, man.
Right,
you just like, what are you for ego? Like, what are you doing?
Yeah,
that
what did you accomplish? Yeah, like you're doing a bid now. Like cool.
Oh
like,
shit, he just did 20 years. That's my dude right
yeah,
there. He's
I didn't
a real
write him.
one.
I didn't write him one letter.
Speaking of that stuff that I think is ironic around, bro.
I checked on his wife a few times. Yo, that's my dog.
Oh my
the
god.
ones I think are funny, like, is you'll see like a rapper will get locked up for something pretty heinous, like armed robbery or like battery and like something crazy.
Sometimes what's written on paper isn't as bad as what really happened.
Well, yeah, so they'll do something wild, but then like their homie will be on like a music video wearing like a free like blah 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 shirt, and I'm like, bro, like what do you mean free? I'm like, dude, like beat somebody unconscious, like
he killed 2 people. They can keep his ass.
He deserves to be locked up. Like, yeah,
keep him in.
keep him in there.
Him, no. Like,
No, what's your opinion on the current state of hip hop?
I think I do appreciate the fact that it's a mixed bag. I don't think everything's for me. I feel like originality's lacking a lot. Like a sound catches fire, everybody tries to duplicate it.
They've been doing that for a long time. Though.
That's true. But at the same time, and I don't get the fashion trends. Like,
what
they're
is
crazy?
That?
Yeah, the colorful dreads and purses and all that.
The high heels, bro. What you doing, bro? Are those platforms?
If you guys are gonna insult my entire wardrobe, I'll fucking leave.
But at the same time, I do sit back and look let's think like 15 years ago, we were wearing big throwback jerseys.
Exactly.
All that stuff.
Well, and you think
the previous generation was probably looking at us the same way.
Well, and you think about the previous hip hop generation, they were dressing pretty wild too. Like, look at like some of the old early rappers' outfits. Like, it wasn't baggy clothes or nothing. It was very like, it was almost like pageantry.
Look at like Run DMC though. They had the big
fucking blouse on and
the
shit.
huge
gold
chains.
I feel like Run
ropes.
DMC and also like NWA.
LL.
They're the ones who like kicked the more hood look into like the fashion era, like into hip hop culture.
Yeah.
I really
That's
do,
fair.
because like that's when like you did see more like the really baggy pants and the tall tees and things like that. Well, I mean the South brought in tall tees, but I remember seeing some Southern rappers that like had tall tees that were going to like almost to their shoes.
Oh, bro,
they were like, yo, like, how big is your t-shirt?
Yeah, I remember that too, man. Like
and who was that made for originally?
The franchise boys, man. They was notorious for that, man.
That was very much their thing. But yeah, I don't know. I think there is. I'm not one of these people who hip hop today ain't like it was in my day. I'll never be that guy. But I
used to be that guy, but I'm not anymore.
I think they've added. The current generation has added more layers to it, and I think there are some new artists like Corday. I don't know if you guys heard Corday. He's dope, bro. I think he's like maybe 21 or something. He's really
even
good.
That dude you just showed me upstairs.
A Boogie with the hoodie.
Oh, A Boogie. I like
that
A
was
Boogie.
really dope.
I like NBA YoungBoy too.
Yeah,
he
and
goes
then-
Kodak.
Kodak's
I like
okay.
Kodak Black.
He's kind of weird, but I do
He
like
is.
quite a few of his songs, man. I ain't gonna lie to you.
I don't know what's up with that brother's hair. Maybe I'm
that-
just mad I ain't got none. I don't know.
That's that Florida shit, man. They be doing them wild ass dreads like that. But
Anything in
No,
Florida,
well,
I'm
he's
just gonna assume
actually,
it's gonna be
what is he?
crazy.
He's Haitian.
yeah, he is.
Yeah, so that probably has something to do with the reason why he is the way he is.
But overall, man, I think people make it out to be worse than it is. I mean, I don't understand a lot of this stuff, but I'm 31 years old, and some of this stuff ain't meant for me to understand.
Right.
So I there's my lane of what I like. I might catch like some of the artists we just mentioned that I enjoy and might want to hear more of, but I think it's fine, man. I just wish there was more originality, but hey, it is what it is, and the next wave, who know what that's gonna be like. So
It's better storytelling, man. The storytelling really got away from
So my opinion on it is,
I do agree with that for sure.
I think we're all pretty much on the same level, like field there, where there's a lot that I do like. The newer age stuff, like you said, Jay, did introduce a lot of new flavor and layers, like that wavy style. That is a newer thing. Like that. There's the wave, man. Like it's just.
What do you mean? What do you mean the wavy stuff?
So like the wavy stuff is like, it's hard to put into words. It's like the song you showed me earlier, but it's where the entire song, the way it's formatted, even if it's not hyper lyrically complex, the way they're laying in the cut and just just riding that wave, you're just like just that
right.
the wavy, more like.
See, that catches me. That kind of stuff
me
catches
too.
me.
Yeah, that catches me. It is a little bittersweet because I feel like hip hop being the most popular genre in the world, which I would arguably say it is. I feel like hip hop has to be.
I know
Rock's
what,
up there, man.
I was gonna say, I think I haven't looked in a while, but I know for years it would go back and forth between hip hop and country.
Yeah.
That's the top two genres.
So with it, I feel like now hip hop, and also, I mean, this is a good example. We're sitting in my basement with like high tech equipment.
Right.
That it's so accessible that it's really oversaturated.
Yeah, that's true.
So
That
that's
is
a hard
very
thing.
true.
Is back in the day when like 50 dropped an album, it was a big deal,
Yes.
and that album would be the buzz for the entire summer.
Yeah.
Like, it would be like the
Sometimes
soundtrack-
a whole year, man.
And now you have rappers dropping albums that are hot for like a week if they're lucky.
Right.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
They get a week, and then because it's like, okay, well, yeah, that album was great, but like now Drake has one dropping this week,
Right.
and now Nicki Minaj's new single
Yep.
just came out. Like it's just so much music
That's very
all
true.
the time. And
Very
so
competitive,
I feel like
man.
nothing sticks like it used to.
It doesn't.
Like it's
That's-
hard
that's
to get
true.
like I'd be hard pressed nowadays to hear a new album in the past even 10 years that I'm like that I feel is like it just like sticks,
Legendary.
sticks with like
Yeah.
you know like just
There's some that I definitely tend to revisit that came out in the last 10 years, but I feel like as far as a buzz, like it doesn't happen like
yeah
that
no
anymore.
not at all.
Unless you're like a huge major artist like a Drake or
Right. Yeah.
somebody like that, where people would really
Solidified
anticipate
it,
it.
man.
Yeah. You know, or even if Lil Wayne was to put something out, it would. I'm sure it would. Stick
Well, and you're
at the
right. I
top
feel
of
like
the
there's,
charts.
I feel like there is
Yeah.
the upper echelon of MCs. Like I feel like J. Cole, Jay-Z, Kanye, Drake, M. There's like a pretty like a good handful of rappers that whenever they drop, whatever they drop, it's gonna be hot for a while.
Yeah.
But then everybody else that's like fighting for their shine. Like it's like a battlefield.
Yeah, you might have a hit single for a
Well,
week, and then
you
it's
even hear like I'll
yeah.
see those like on like Instagram. They'll do like the what drops this week, and
Yeah.
it's like 5 rappers albums. They're like this week these rappers albums.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's wild. Like,
That's just crazy.
I'm listening to all of this.
They're like,
Why are they getting paid and I'm not on?
It's always crazy to look in comment sections and they'll be like, "Oh, such and such dropped a fire album, but y'all slept on it." It's like, bro, there's so much other
have
shit.
no idea, bro.
I didn't want to.
Was it on the was it on the news now? I mean,
It didn't hit my
man.
Twitter feed. What?
So much at once, man, and I think that's legit. They just don't stick. They don't have the staying power that they once did, you know, unless you've already got that huge name behind you and some anticipation.
What also kind of frustrates me, I don't know if you guys can relate, but I'll hear a record that is fire. Like a good example is Katsky and Yellow Wolf just
Yeah.
dropped their collab project.
Yeah.
Super fucking dope, and nobody's talked about it really. And that's
Yeah,
and,
I
I, and, I,
didn't-
and I get weird about that stuff. I'm like, yo, like this shit was fire, and it's happened with multiple artists before that. I'm like,
Yeah.
man, like how you guys, like you said, how you sleeping on these people? Like,
Yeah.
and stuff.
Everybody's
it's
lives is just very,
that's
very,
exactly-
busy.
yeah.
You know, even though your face is in your phone all day, every day. I mean, everybody's guilty of it.
Yeah.
You know, it's just I don't think that's really what people are looking for. You used to be able to look forward to it, like you're saying. You had magazines. You had what you would call that. TV shows with it, you know, there was everything.
What do
that
you call
was
that? TV
Well, I'm
shows?
sorry, I was
what is that thing?
I was trying to think, man.
you put
My
your
bad,
eyes
my bad.
Use your eyes to look at it.
No,
plays
you're right
pictures.
though, because I remember even an album would be coming. You'd see a commercial for it,
Oh,
bro,
yeah,
and it'd be
yeah.
coming May 15th or whatever, and it's like that
Well,
anticipation, you know, like it was.
Or with the
something
music
to push it.
video that dropped, you know, the greatest thing about older music videos was there would always be a pause, either in the middle or at the end, and it'd be a transition into what's coming in the future.
Yes,
Yeah,
yeah. They'd have
yeah.
like it'd play a little
Yeah,
snippet of a beat or something
absolutely.
like that. I also think that, like I was saying, like streaming has brought us into a whole nother world too.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
back in the day too, you had to wait to go buy your CD from Hastings or get it in the mail or like Graffitis or
Right.
local like CD
Right,
store
right.
here and all that. And now it's just the second the album drops, it's accessible instantaneously amongst everybody.
See,
They-
midnight on the
I
tip.
appreciate
no,
it, though,
no. So do I.
honestly,
No, I
you know,
like it.
yeah.
I like it, but because of that instant gratification,
Right.
it doesn't. Because truly, I think it's almost like you want to like get into some like old like philosophical proverb type stuff. Part of what made us love music back in the day was the experience of like waiting for it too.
Right.
Like it was the
Right.
whole
And
setup.
having to go get it or going to your friend's house to listen to
exactly.
it.
Having
Yep,
to,
exactly.
Yeah,
In the car.
Like, yeah,
Hey, you heard only that
have
new-
yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
That was part of the allure, and now that's just gone. That's something of the past that we're gonna be old ass people talking to our grandkids about. You know?
I do love it though, because man, there's so many albums when I was a child that I couldn't get because you know, brother was broke. You know, so
Relatable.
So you mean for $10 a month, I can
Oh,
listen
no, I
to
love it.
whatever
Yeah,
I want to
no,
listen to.
I
Like,
love
that is-
anything.
that's
That's what I
very
was trying to
good
tell.
point.
I was trying to tell one of my clients that because I was like, yeah, you should just get like Spotify, just pay for a monthly membership to Spotify.
$20 for a CD or $10
and they
for
kept
the month.
they kept asking me, they're like, they kept asking me stuff like, well, is Aerosmith on it? I'm like, everything.
anything you think of.
Name it. Name a song you
Aerosmith.
heard, it's on it. Like I
think R.
promise you.
Kelly is about the only one that's not on there with his little nasty ass. You know,
Is he really not on there?
I think they
I think
blackballed him.
they did
Yeah.
take him off a
They-
while back. Yeah, I saw something.
He
about
might be
that,
back
but-
on there, but I don't think he is, man. Yeah, them women pushed pretty hard for him to get off all.
Oh yeah, he's trash, man. We might have to delve
Which
into
sucks too, man, because you're such a black
Talent.
icon, bro.
Yeah,
like
talent.
Musical
great
genius.
work, man.
Talented.
Yeah,
God,
but there's
There's
no
some weird
question.
stuff, man.
Horrible person.
Yeah,
musical
like
genius.
Michael Jackson, man, like huge black icons. Like we need people like that, and just destroyed with what they was doing, man. That's just terrible.
It's just wild, man. But yeah, one more thing about the music, how we're talking about the whole scene. Like, I just feel like music from when I was a kid, I got certain songs that are tied to memories and, certain points in life. And I just don't feel like that happens anymore.
Same.
Yeah. Because, and a large part of that is because somebody will listen to an album, 12, 14 songs, whatever. Like, okay, what's next?
Right.
Like,
Yeah, exactly.
so-
Well, even now, people's that instant gratification also, it's just culturally and how society has moved on and adapted to the having a computer in your pocket at all times. But I'm guilty of this myself, to where I'll see an album drop and it'll drop and I'll look at it and it'll be like 18 songs and I'm like, whew, that's a big album.
Are you sure?
Yeah, back in the day, the more tracks the better to me.
Exactly.
I was like,
"Whew."
mean, there's a bonus
Yeah.
track at the end of that song?
Exactly, yeah. Because they used to do that. They would hide a hidden track.
Ludacris,
Yeah,
man.
they would
Come on,
hide
what
a
was
hidden
that?
track in
Him and Jermaine Dupri,
Jay-Z
man.
has one, Lyrical Exercise. He hit it in a song.
Welcome
on his
to
album,
Atlanta,
and
that's
it's like
the song.
3
Yeah,
minutes
yeah.
of nothingness.
Right.
And then the song would play. So it became like a Easter egg.
Right.
To where you're like, yo, you heard the whole Jay album? Yeah.
Like the
No,
whole
the whole album. You listened to 6 minutes after track 2?
Right? I don't think you did.
And
bro.
also
'Cause
just
you ain't
like-
talking about it.
having that physical copy of the CD too, and taking out
yeah.
the book, looking at the
Everything.
lyrics, and the art and stuff
Yeah.
like that. Like it's
is
obsolete.
This
now.
is heavy old
Yeah.
head section of the podcast. Right. Heavy with the old head.
Okay, so let's keep this thing moving.
Let's move on to the next topic. So this is one of those what if scenarios, okay?
Okay.
So what if, okay, for whatever reason it may be, your entire photo gallery on your phone got uploaded to social media and then your phone died? What do you do? How do you respond? How do you respond?
At what point in time? Because right now I'd be okay, but well,
Sorry, Grandma. Please don't have no heart attack. I'm sorry, Grandma.
I won't delve into anything, but that would be
for me it would be a lot of memes. And a few things like, why did you take that picture, Jay? What was going on in your mind? What is this? Like, what did you?
Mine would, yeah.
Did you
mine would.
mean that? A lot of accidental screenshots?
Yeah. Those,
Oh, mine, well, bro, my phone is full accident. My background.
Ryan is all over my phone from hitting the ignore button and taking a
Hitting the
screenshot.
screenshot.
Yeah, like you know how many times you ignore somebody from the screenshots.
Oh gosh.
But yeah, no, I'd have to say sorry, Grandma.
I just feel like, but that initial panic until you figure out how to
Yeah,
handle
because
that
that's the thing.
situation.
What do you
you'd have to accept it. You just have to accept it. Like
Because I
have
will
to
say,
accept
yo,
this
I
right now.
have I have some things on my phone that I feel like all of us, I do not want
No.
Yeah.
very private things that are
Yeah.
between
I always
myself
think about
and,
stuff like that, or
Yeah.
if I'm having some me time and I'm searching something and accidentally.
See, that's not what it. What if your browser history got leaked?
Oh,
what if
gosh.
Bruh, so I bought a new phone yesterday, right? Trading my phone in, and she's on my Safari. You know what I'm saying? And that was my first. First thought. Like, oh my God, please don't have nothing on there. Just
Mama,
pop
no.
off, please.
No.
Yeah, please. No.
You know she saw some.
Oh, I hope not.
did.
You know,
Without a doubt.
You know
she
what
saw
it makes
them.
me think of? It makes me think of this hilarious meme I came across where some dude's status was big booty dwarf with barbecue sauce on her titties. And then in the comments he's like, "Oh shit, this ain't Google."
Oh yeah. I did see that.
that would be terrible.
Oh man, could you imagine? bro?
Could you
man.
truly? Or Pornhub did this for April Fools.
Oh, I know
On
what you're
April
talking about,
Fools, they did this thing to where you'd go to watch a video and it would bring you to a screen that would say, "Thank you for sharing this link."
Oh
Yeah.
man.
And so
Congratulations.
really, congratulations,
It's been
thank you.
uploaded.
Woody's gone. Woody is out the door. You know,
Bruh,
phone is
could you
all back in the pocket. Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Gosh,
Damn you,
man.
Pornhub.
Yeah.
Oh
If
gosh.
somebody saw your browser history You think they think differently of you?
No, they'd be like, "You nasty mom."
I know for sure I would not think differently.
I don't-
You're pretty on Front Street about you.
Yeah,
I just feel like
I
I feel like for me it would just be a unanimous. Are you okay, sir? Like, what, you all right? Like, why did you think of that?
They
Like,
have an
what?
intervention.
Yeah, that's
There would probably be more though. Like, I look up a lot of stuff. You know, I think
Same.
we all do. You know, and I do a lot of reading on my phone. I ain't picked up a textbook in God knows how long. But if it's on my phone and it's in a decent amount of paragraph, when I start scrolling it, I look at the bar. And if it's a fat bar, I'm like, cool, I can read this article, right?
Yeah.
If it's that little tiny bar, you're like, damn, I'm gonna be reading for a minute. You know?
Yeah.
So, but you know, I just look up interesting things, and I'm argumentative sometimes. So I'm like, I'm gonna Google it, bro, because I don't believe you.
Yeah.
You know, and just so I can be right. And you
Which
can be
is
wrong, you
which
know?
is good.
I feel like for me it would be a lot of random ass stuff, or like
Yo, I feel like people, like, not to put myself too much on blast here, but so much of mine is like Pokemon stuff. Like,
Right.
truly, I'm a huge,
that ain't gonna surprise
like
nobody.
my phone background is a picture of Pokemon. I have like an entire photo gallery that I've like downloaded of pictures of Pokemon, like, whatever and stuff. But that, and then some unmentionable things. So then they're like, yo, like, what is wrong with it? Like, literally, like, it's
Pokemon
like,
and tits, man. I don't get
literally,
it. I don't
yeah.
get it. Bulbasaur, I see what you're doing.
Pokemon and big booty milfs.
They go hand.
Yes, Bulbasaur.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. No, but I think the worst part about that would be that anxiety.
The worst thing
panic.
would be the phone dying, because you have
don't
know
what's
all
on there.
that time.
Yeah, and
all
it'll
that,
take
you're gonna
you
have,
at
you're gonna
least-
have people hitting you up, being like, "Yo,
Yeah.
you're like,"
And
you
at
know,
least, it'll take probably at least 10 minutes to even be able to turn your phone back on.
Oh, yeah, at least.
So you'll have all that traffic from the messages, the calls, and then, man.
I think it
oof.
would just be more panic, like you saying,
Yeah.
of like, damn it, what is on there?
Yeah,
like,
'cause
I
you ain't-
hope
yeah.
well, because
it's
that's
not that
because that's the
bad.
thing is
Yeah.
you might even forget something you might have
Yeah.
screenshot or saved.
That's
or,
it, too, because, you
Yeah.
can hold thousands and thousands of
Oh,
pictures
yeah.
in there. So there's going to be something you don't remember
My Pokemon
off the
folder
top of your
alone
head.
has like 700 JPEGs. In it.
Man.
God damn, that'd be rough. And then if you got photos of local people in there,
Oh yeah.
oh,
man.
gosh,
I think the worst is like, I think we're all guilty of sending a little something we're not supposed to
Little
send, right?
something,
I think the most is clicking on that accidentally while you're trying to look for something to show somebody. And,
Yeah.
like let's say you're in a work truck and you got your friends in there with you or whatnot, and they're like, dude, why you got a big old dong? Like that don't make like I knew it, bro.
was that a penis?
I knew you was funny.
As fate would have it, I have a story to tell you guys that just took place.
Oh,
That's on topic. So,
What'd you do?
Before the cast started, I was just scrolling through Facebook, okay? And a picture popped up of some bondage activity.
why would that be on?
Okay,
there?
now listen.
Okay.
Some bondage. So it just popped up. Somebody that a friend of mine had shared a link, whatever. Somebody who just go ahead and just put themselves on Main Street like that.
People like that,
So-
I'd just be like,
so
chill,
nothing
yo.
bad.
Like,
It's just a
Always
lady
sexual
who's got her
stuff?
hands tied up and stuff. Okay, so me just trying to be slick, I tagged my wife and said, "Prepare yourself," and that's what I said.
everybody.
Turns out everybody can see it.
Yes!
My staff just sent me an image and said, "Don't know why this popped up on my timeline. I don't even follow
Bro,
the page."
you didn't.
And it's
didn't know
I had
that?
no. Why would people be
I
able to
don't-
see what I tag people
I don't.
in?
I'm not
That's-
on Facebook very often, so I wouldn't.
That's how it
yeah.
works, bro. You
Yeah,
comment
well.
on something, it's gonna come on my newsfeed. Nicholas Fletcher
Damn,
commented on
nasty
it.
self.
Oh no!
Yeah,
You know
yeah,
how many
so-
things I've
Keep your hand.
commented on that
Keep
people.
your
I
handcuffs
see
upstairs,
them.
bro.
Remember a couple
said,
weeks
"I
ago?
seen them."
Remember a couple weeks ago when I was talking about how you own some dude on one of them Sweetwater now.
that Burden dude.
Yeah. Well, that's because I could see it, Nick. Like it says
man.
you commented on whatever,
Oh,
so I
no,
went on
that is
to
ter-
it. So yeah, bro, that's nothing new.
I'm gonna apologize to people. Right
Yeah,
now.
you probably should.
I just learned something very important that I'm gonna start applying to
well,
my
by,
life stuff.
well, by the time they hear this, it's gonna be damage done.
Yeah, well, I deleted it. It's
Oh,
gone.
did you?
Yeah, I
Oh,
deleted
gosh.
it. My staff
Don't
sent me
worry,
that
all-
picture and
your
said,
1,000 friends already seen it.
Yeah, he quote unquote was like, so don't know why. I
People
saw
that
this.
entrusted you with your clients are like, he is a nasty motherfucker.
He's a sexual deviant.
Yeah, I don't.
He's
Who-
a
who-
nasty man.
Who is this guy that we're giving this trust into? You know?
All right, guys. So
God
for the so just to conclude that my entire gallery, like everything uploaded. Now, to be fair, you'd have to sift. Like,
Yeah.
But But also,
Yeah, ain't nobody going through no 1,000+ pictures.
I don't know,
but-
man. I would just hold it against somebody. I'm one of those
Yeah, you
guys. There's
could-
gonna be
yeah.
people
Would you?
out there that are like that.
Yeah,
Like,
no,
that's true.
absolutely. In
I
my,
mean,
yeah.
I guess it depends. If you got some free time, if it was a chick I knew, that
I
was
would
like,
just have to like in that
I'm going
time.
through hers.
I'm going through 'em.
in that,
Going through 'em.
in
Checking
that
it out.
time that my phone was dead. now-
please be in there. You know?
just one titty.
Right.
Let me
Just
see
come
what
on.
the-
Damn
Just
it.
a little
one
bit.
titty. That's it.
You ain't that prudish. I know it.
God
But
damn, man.
so the entire time my phone was dead and I was like trying to get it back alive, I would just be like basically planning out my new life. Like
Yeah,
this,
same.
everything has changed. Everything has changed.
would you guys deactivate once you got everything back up and going?
Probably, yeah.
I think I would too.
Man,
for like a good year.
Deactivate,
I feel like I just
maybe even
own it.
relocate.
I really feel like I would just own it because I'm, you know, it wouldn't be nothing too surprising on there coming from me. Anybody that knows
Yeah,
me.
because you
Yeah,
are,
yeah.
bro. That's why I have admired
I'm
you
pretty
our
open
whole
about
entire
what's
friendship,
going
bro.
on, yeah.
You're about that, bro. Like you have no qualms in being
See,
like what I'm into. Like
I think
That
the
happened.
I think the worst thing for me would be the fact that I have so much family on Facebook,
yeah.
and so my mother, my aunts,
man.
and
My
stuff
worst- my-
see me hitting some chick from the back. and I'm
Oh,
like,
my
oh
God.
bro.
Yeah, you probably would have to disappear for a little bit. Like, I'm just, yeah, lay
Uncle
low.
hit you up, weak stroke game, nephew.
What was that?
What was that?
That was
What
not
did
the
you-
That is
African
not
tabernacle.
that is
Hey,
not
how
in
you
our
do that?
that is you
Yeah.
didn't get that from our genetic line.
What
kind of
the
stroke is
hell?
that?
No, my biggest concern would obviously be like owning a business. Like as a
Yeah,
business,
no,
that would just
I
not,
get
you know,
that,
that's just
yeah,
like-
I get
That
Yeah.
would be catastrophic for you.
Yeah, that would not.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that would not be.
I mean,
good.
that one's
And-
pretty
and here's
bad
the
right
thing-
there that you have.
Yeah, well, that alone, and mind you, like anybody listening, I don't have anything wild enough on my phone that would like make you question like
Typical-
me as a person.
It's no different than what's in your phone,
yeah,
man.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah, no,
bruh.
yeah, exactly. No different than your phone. Like
Yeah.
I might search some stuff. Like I'm, you know, like I might have,
Outside it extremely weird. It ain't nothing different than what's in
Yeah.
your phone.
Yeah.
Stop it.
So next up, I have to redeem myself on the random topic. Okay.
Yeah,
The
because
random
you
fact.
sucked last time.
Microwave, right?
So I screwed up.
You
so
sucked.
what I'm going to talk about now is, oddly enough, a microwave.
Nice.
Yeah.
Did you know if you put a bag of popcorn in there,
Yeah, crazy.
it will pop
It
for a
will
few
turn-
minutes?
yeah.
Microwave, huh? Ladies and gentlemen, this is my farewell episode.
No, this won't be my real random fact, but on a quick cliff note of microwaves, we found this out last night that the gentleman who discovered how the microwave would work and came up with the patent to put it in a metal box and
rich.
microwave food,
Right.
And all that stuff. That gentleman, the company he worked for, he made the patent. They patented it, whatever, like or however that worked legally, and gave him a $2 bonus, and he never saw any more money. The dude who invented the
$2.
microwave,
Disgusting.
the
You
microwave.
want to
Bro,
talk
imagine-
about ultimate disrespect.
Right.
Invented the microwave, and they're
Man.
like, "Here's $2."
Imagine if he got $2 for like every one
microwave,
sold.
yeah.
He'd
Well,
be
yeah,
well
you'd be
off,
a
but,
billionaire,
you know,
so
but
yeah.
still, that's so greasy.
Because you
man.
think about it, like,
Man.
dude, who
I
invented
wish
microwave?
I wish I was the
like
one that
every
took that
house
from
in
them.
every civilized part of the world has a microwave.
Oh yeah,
So this
everywhere.
dude, that
Yeah, you-
patent had, yeah. So yeah, but the other random fact is, so this one's
Actual
this is my
real one.
this is the real random fact, and this kind of falls into the same strange like what moment of like the beaver bum goo that we talked about from the last episode. Did you not catch that episode?
Oh no, we ain't uploaded. It ain't
Oh
uploaded
yeah,
yet.
yeah,
it's
that
not
ain't
up
uploaded yet.
Yeah,
You'll hear.
Oh,
it.
okay.
Yeah,
Beaver,
but anyway,
Beaver Bum Goo and Sledgehammer Jackson.
Yep, that's the next episode. Or that's the episode that is going to be
Yeah,
before this.
I'll be
episode.
listening. I'll be
But
listening.
so fun fact, okay, guys, penicillin originally was called mold juice.
Really?
Mold juice.
Dive
so,
into that.
Yeah, so in 1928, the bacteriologist left a petri dish in his lab while he was on vacation, only to return and find that some liquid around the mold had killed the bacteria in the dish. This became the world's first antibiotic, but before naming it penicillin, it was just called mold juice.
Wow.
So imagine being like ill and the
So
doctor being
basic.
like, take some mold juice.
Yeah,
I got some mold juice.
He's got a
for you.
pretty bad infection. Here's a prescription for some mold
Here's
juice.
some mold
What
juice.
do you mean mold juice? It just sounds nasty.
Oh
It sounds
gosh,
juicy.
man! Like I don't. It's so weird. Like I actually appreciate antibiotics having complex names because if that's the alternative,
If that's what.
get the fuck out.
Yeah, you either have like Flipposchlafluffamasififen or mold juice. Like, give me the
what do you want?
Yeah, which one
really
you want?
want?
You want the amoxicillin?
Which one do you trust?
Yeah.
You want the amoxicillin? You want the mold juice?
Mold juice. Yeah, give me a little
Hey,
bit.
pass me some mold
I'll
juice.
take a little shot of that mold juice. I'll be good in the morning.
I put it in a cup. Take a little shooter.
Gosh, man. I mean, I guess that's just barely a step above what medicine was back in the
Yeah,
days,
sure.
you know, because they're thinking, oh, you take a shot of whiskey, you'll be all right.
Right.
You know, sniff a little bit of this cocaine.
Yeah, exactly.
Get that chest
Walk
cold.
that shit off. Fuck you mean you're
Well,
sick?
I feel like it's a centric,
Yeah,
I feel like
it's
it's a
brutal.
centric theme on the podcast, but we always loop back to how crazy science was, man.
Yeah,
That-
absolutely.
and like not even that long ago.
Accidental,
Like
man.
the-
So much accidents happen, and like so you can look at the word accident and be like, yo, accident really isn't that bad of a thing.
Yeah,
it could
yeah.
be good.
I mean,
'Cause a microwave
history
was an
shows
accident.
it's really not.
If you guys
Like-
didn't know, a microwave was an accident. Little known fact.
What?
Yeah.
Could you dive into it, bro?
Let me tell you. No, but I just think medicine is hilarious to me because one, like the Kellogg or the cornflakes one.
Yeah, I still didn't get that either. When
Yeah,
you was talking
the
about it, I was
cornflakes
like,
one
man,
because
how?
I just want to know the science behind it because
Plain food. Will
Yeah.
and I guess he did start.
Said
He,
no
well,
man never.
he did start diving
Yeah.
into like food without a lot of sugars and whatever and stuff. But
Yeah.
at the same time, like, but what are you basing this off?
Bro, that
Ain't
thing is
nothing.
when you a young man, that thing get hard no matter what
Exactly.
you do to it. It's you waking
He-
up with it hard, you going
that's
to sleep
probably-
with it hard.
I didn't, that's probably, I didn't think about it. That's probably what it was. He had erectile dysfunction and
Oh,
he
man.
thought nobody should have
Yeah,
sex
yeah,
ever.
probably.
Because he wasn't interested in it. You
like-
know, like no
I hate dicks.
Nobody gets to enjoy this anymore.
sexual intercourse.
Even back then, though, too, like on that side of things, man, like how times have changed. How
Prudy
right now,
though, but people were prudes back.
Oh,
in
that's
the
what
day.
I'm
They
saying.
were,
That's what I'm about to
absolutely.
bring up because now,
So angry about-
because nowadays it's just normal. Like if just empowerment of like if like somebody wants to post like a risque picture, male,
Yeah.
female, whatever. It's just like, hey, more power to you. Do
Yeah.
your thing,
Yeah.
Like
Let 'em hang.
only fans are supported.
Yeah.
Like
Right. Man, when it
back
comes-
then it was like you could see an ankle and be like,
Oh my God, she's a Jezebel.
She's got lotion on it, bro. I can see it.
That moisturized ankle.
She definitely bathed in the
No,
last
it's
week.
crazy,
Yes.
man. Because nowadays, people put their kinks on display, and
yeah.
there's some weird ones
Some
out
people,
there.
some people tag their
I
wives on
personally,
Facebook in them.
I personally am like, whatever, do your thing. But
Right.
sometimes it's just like, let's not put it on
Maybe.
display in
That
public.
That one don't need to be.
You know,
on.
like,
that
because
one I don't
if
need to
this
know
is
about.
something, if it's something weird, like you like a furry dog suit or some shit, and you're out in public with that, and this is something sexual for you, you probably shouldn't be doing that in front of us at this park.
I'd appreciate it if you wasn't.
I do what you do, like what you like, but
I hope
you
you happy, but just don't be happy
Yeah.
around
Yeah,
me.
Social-
Social media did take away that layer of like secrecy and
Oh,
like
yeah.
privacy and willingly people
You can
'cause
find
that's
more
the thing is-
like-minded people
yeah,
that
yeah.
think like you, so you don't feel like
So,
you're
but that's the thing.
alone or
But there's a
weird,
place for that, like
Yeah.
Reddit. Reddit's a good example. Subreddit for anything. Go
Oh,
to
yeah.
Reddit and type in something nasty,
Yeah.
and there is a
I
subreddit
don't
for
want to do
it.
it. I did that on
Yeah.
Twitter for a long time. I had to get rid of Twitter.
Yeah.
I'm just
So-
being honest,
Yeah,
man.
so there's a subreddit. There's a
Doing it.
subreddit for everything. But like you said, when they're just putting it on blast, like bright, live, and direct, like it is a little bit where it's like, okay,
Yeah,
like,
I
you
was-
could be a little bit.
Now it's uncomfortable. Then you lock eyes and it's like, man, that's just uncomfortable
yeah.
now, bro. Like
I saw. I was actually scrolling through his subreddit. I think it was. I can't remember what the fuck was it. What it was. Something about r/ stuff you shouldn't post or too much information or something like that. But it was this couple who had apparently just had sex, and the dude. It's on Snapchat, and the dude smiling like, "Guess what we just did?"
yeah, that's too
Like,
much.
bro, why would you even want to share that? Like, hey
For
guys.
for what reason?
I just had sexual intercourse with this young lady who didn't look very satisfied by it. She was
He
she was like,
he finished
is
first. Let's
he
put it there.
really? Are you really doing this? And it's so disrespectful. I would never violate anybody like that anyway, bro. But some people want that attention.
Hey, yo, flip the table. What if that happened to you? What if you hooked up with a chick and like we're sleeping and like the next day like your homie sent you a screenshot and was like, "Hey, bro," and like it was you just passed out and her like selfie.
Okay,
and,
hold
like,
on. Let's get some criteria here. Is this a chick I'm ashamed of? Is this a drunk?
Let's call it a one night stand.
A one
Not
night?
ashamed, but not proud of. How about that?
In the middle, right in the
Yeah.
middle.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
like a one night stand. Like
I
you
would still
maybe-
feel violated. I would.
Absolutely, yeah.
I would probably
Like if she
cuss
put it
out.
on her Snapchat. What
Yeah,
if
I
she
would
added
probably
like
cuss
an
out.
insult to it?
Oh, look at this
man.
2-pump chump knocked
man.
out.
2-pump chump still sleeping.
I'd be upset.
I would be so
I'd be
mad.
upset.
You know what I always hated, man? This is, I'm not out here on the prowl like I once was in my early 20s, but, I'd have random girls at the house after the bar and stuff. And
Right.
one of the worst things I hated is when I woke up and she was gone.
Bruh.
I was, oh my God, what did you see? Are you just, did you steal something? Like,
You're like checking like
what is it? At least say bye. Like,
Right.
damn, you
Let me
just
know
wake
you
up
out.
and in the
check.
bed, in the
and
bed.
not only but like sneak out to where you don't even wake up. Like
Yeah,
you
like
sneak
you,
out.
you're just gone. Like I
So do you
hated
text
that.
them? Or do you text them or what?
I don't
Yeah,
think so.
usually I
Really?
would.
I don't know.
I would just because I don't think I've ever actually had.
I guess
a
maybe
one-night
say
stand.
maybe text like a shooter like a hey, hope you made it home safe,
Yeah.
champ.
Did I do something? Did I not do something?
Oh, it was usually something like, oh, I had to go do this or I had to work or whatever. But it's still like that vulnerability.
I still
didn't
love like
it.
talking to like when we because again I've been with my wife for 10 years, so I haven't got experience like the dating scene really beyond like I was very young, like had a couple wild years when I was younger, got with Felicia, and now I hear like the stories about like Tinder and like all these dating apps,
Yeah, man.
and I have to like live vicariously through the stories because I'm like what's it like?
What's
What's it like to
What's
meet
it
a
to
girl on the
swipe
internet?
left?
Do you enjoy it?
I had some experience with those things, and they are interesting, bro. They are interesting, I will say. There's a lot of, this is a common thing to see. These two things. You'll see girls that'll say, not here for hookups, blah, blah, blah. Or, oh, I'm a big girl. If that's a problem, you can swipe left.
Swipe.
But then,
My bad.
My
But
thumb
then,
slips.
everybody, I'm a big girl and proud. If you don't like it, you can swipe left. But then it'll be like only pictures from the neck up.
Oh,
it's
man,
like,
those are suspect
Are you
ones,
really?
bro.
Are you really
Yeah,
proud? Like if you just showing
See,
the neck
and
up?
that's the thing is
Correct,
again,
correct.
anybody listening from the outside perspective who maybe is like thinking one dimensionally, Jay doesn't mean like he thinks like, oh, you're a big girl and you're like whatever. It's the fact that like to like diss somebody like about it. Like,
Yeah,
oh, I'm a big girl,
absolutely.
and if you don't like it,
Yeah, and if
then
you
go
don't
be
like-
one of them little skinny bitches. You know, where
get
it's
you
like,
one. I'm not some skinny little bitch that you can do whatever to.
Yeah, it's like, yo, like,
My legs don't
I'm a
go up
real-
that high.
I'm a real woman.
Right.
I'm a real curvy woman. Y'all gotta stop using that word curvy
Yeah, 'cause-
so freely too.
Yeah,
but-
because sometimes it's lumpy, not curvy. I'm just
you got
being honest.
shampoo on
God.
Instagram.
And I'm not trying to body shame none of you ladies
Yeah.
out there. Hey man, everybody know, man, I don't mind me a thick woman. You know,
Yeah,
if you
yeah,
own
yeah.
that shit, you carry it proud, you carry it right, man. I'm not gonna be just turned off on
And
you.
I,
because
you know,
you're-
what I will
because you're
say, and
big
we can all
all
agree
that.
on, there is women in every like body like type that I find like gorgeous.
Same
There's,
here.
There's
Yeah,
super petite women that are gorgeous. There
I
are
always
very big
say-
women that I
Queen
think are-
Latifah, bro.
Yeah.
I mean,
I always
that's
say-
beautiful, bro.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
she big as shit. You know?
I think,
tall,
you know, I think,
Yeah,
a,
she
be-
is.
I
No,
think a
she's-
better
yeah, she's a
example,
big
bro.
woman.
Now that's a good example that kind of bring it up is talking about this is I don't think it's necessarily like. I think part of like the unattractiveness to it when I do see some of those posts online is the ego attached to it. Like you
Yeah,
said.
no, I
so
feel
when it will
that.
be like
Yeah.
somebody who like instead of just posting like we talked about it last cast where it's just posting something about yo feeling myself today,
Yeah,
you know, whatever,
that's cool, yeah.
opposed to just like having some like insult tag to it
Yeah.
like this
Oh,
what a real woman
you
looks
bitches
like.
could never.
Just because y'all don't like cheesecake don't mean
You bitches ain't real. This is a real one right here. He'll never find another one.
Right.
You know what's crazy though, man? How we're talking about the different attraction and stuff. I've always said that beauty comes in many variations, right? So for me, I mean, there are things, physical things I like and stuff, but it's not. You could still be attractive and not necessarily have all that stuff.
yeah, like the
Right.
physical
You know.
Right.
standard of
It's just whoever, catches your eye. It don't matter what race, what size, whatever. Well, size. I mean, I like thick girls. I like slim girls. I like BBWs. But there's a category I discovered years and years ago called SSBBW. Absolutely
Super
not.
size? Is it super size?
Super size.
Yeah, not for me, man.
I
I'm
came
sorry.
across that and nope the fuck out of there, bro.
Sorry, not for me.
Nah,
man.
just hey,
There's limits.
somebody
There's limits.
love you.
I also want to feel like
Some
you,
brothers
I
do, though,
also
some
want to
people
feel like
really
you.
do.
I want to feel like you want to take care of yourself too. Like,
Yeah,
that's part of it
yeah,
too.
like, it's-
like I don't want you on Front Street on Facebook like slamming yourself like with like a cheesecake and being like you only live once, or you know, everybody's like, yo, like, take care of yourself.
No,
like,
yeah.
Sitting in a love sleep, but all you see is her body. Like, it's no
Like, that's
chair.
a two-seater. Did you know that? Man,
No, that's actually sad when they're that big, man. I actually do feel some sympathy for people like that, because a lot of times they'll go through something and just eat their feelings.
And in people's defense too, it's also a lot of it is like hormonal, like thyroid issues.
Yeah.
Can lead to all that
some
stuff,
things
so.
you can't just. Some
People on
things
the
you can't
podcast,
help,
it's got to be crazy to listen, because like we'll start going on a tangent and getting our those modes, and they'll be like, man, these guys are ignorant. And they'll be like, but with all due respect, we care very much about your well-being. Like, because we are, like, it's just like
No, I mean, I'm a passionate person, man. You know, I don't, you know, I'm never just gonna be, oh, you fat blob, fuck you, die.
Not to your
You
face.
know?
No, I'm just kidding. If I don't answer
So
the
I
phone,
feel
you
like
know why. You know?
can make that type of joke, but you should also have something, you know, passionate or compassionate and informative behind it as well. So,
Right,
you know.
right.
So, question that'll be a good thing for our next topic is, what do you find attractive in the opposite sex that isn't a physical trait?
That is a wonderful transition. I had to acknowledge it because we acknowledge our transitions.
We always do.
I think for me, just a woman showing that she cares, like just even if it's, hey, hope you have a good day. I know you got to do such and such today. I hope it goes well. Or hey, how you been? Like if I'm not feeling good or something, it's hey, or how was your throat or whatever, you know, something
Super
like that.
attractive when they do that.
Usually
I
we're
love
asking
that.
them that question.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, dirty sexual
Is that thing that hangs in the back of your car? All right, you know, I'm just wondering. I'm curious.
But no, stuff like that, bro. I love that type of thing, and also like if you like, so I was seeing a young lady and she had stayed over my house on a work night, and so she was sleeping. I'd go to work at like 5 a.m. So you know I'd just let her do her thing. It was like, oh, lock the door when you leave. I come home, my bed's made, room's clean. I'm like, yo, see, little stuff like that. You didn't have to do that, but that was really nice of you to do. Or, you know, maybe if I'm seeing a girl and she's coming over the house, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm stopping at such and such. Would you like anything? Like stuff like that, or you know, I just if you're doing stuff like that, like it definitely makes my feelings stronger. I would say.
Right, yeah.
I'd have to say my number one is a sense of humor.
Oh gosh,
Yo,
of course.
like,
yeah.
we have to have some like hilarious
Can we
conversations.
please
Dumb,
yeah, dumb,
please.
like
You
back
gotta-
and forths. Like,
Do I have to sit here cool the whole time, or can we
Yeah,
have fun?
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know?
exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah. Like, I don't want to have to act like like Christian Grey all the time. You know,
yeah.
like, you know, you go and joke and stuff.
an extension of that is we got to be able to roast each other too.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
Definitely
I'm
getting
gonna roast.
roasted.
You know, we can do the lovey-dovey stuff
Yeah,
at
I'm
times,
roasting
but
that ass.
we're gonna be calling roast. I'm like, you a little dumb, ain't you? but you know, you got to. I think that's that's one of the important layers of a relationship, being able to make fun of each other,
yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
stuff like that. Even if
And just the inside jokes too.
absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely, stuff like that. What else, man? I think the sense of humor is a big one.
Carry it, man. Like the way you carry, like it's. I can see a woman that's not like maybe the most gorgeous thing you see out there, right? But there's something about her. There's something about the way that she just carries. She got something there that you can just feel. You can smell it, and you're like, I can't stop looking at you, which means I'm attracted to you.
Absolutely.
You know, and I don't know quite what it is. It's just something's there. You know, that's awesome.
I've definitely.
I agree, man.
and women taking care of themselves. Oh God,
That's great.
yes.
So you brought up earlier, like it used as like a metaphor, but you said smell. That's one of mine.
Oh, yeah.
a chick
Oh
who
yeah,
smells good.
You better the fuck smell
smell
good.
good.
Come
Yeah,
over here
smell good.
smelling like fruits and flowers.
Yeah. Well, there's nothing more. There is definitely nothing more disappointing, right? Like let's say we all dress pretty nice, you know,
Yeah.
how I feel. So when a woman walks by us, what they're automatically expecting is like, yo, he gonna smell good, right?
Yeah.
This just comes with the dressing nice. We expect the same when we walk by a woman, but not overly done. You know, that turns me
I don't
off.
want you to
Same,
smell like
same,
a Bed Bath
Yeah,
and
no,
Beyond.
like you just
Yeah.
jumped into a bottle of cologne and then got out, or perfume, sorry, then got out of it. You know, like no, but definitely, definitely smell. Please.
It is dope, I will say, when you have a young lady visit and she's on your couch or your bed or whatever, and when she leaves, you still smell
Yeah,
that
oh,
aroma
man,
or whatever.
Yeah.
love
No,
that.
I
Smell
know
that pillow, especially if you really
no,
dig it, you know?
exactly. So
Yeah.
that's a good example is, and this goes both ways, but like with Felicia, for instance, I had a frog that I got her when we were early, like a pet, the stuffed frog, not a pet frog.
I know,
I got
I
her a
figured,
frog,
okay.
a little stuffed animal frog. I
You
got
know,
her.
that weird stuff
Yeah.
again.
Yeah. It's like white people stuff.
Yeah.
We gift each other frogs every now and then.
whites.
I get it, man.
But but I sprayed my cologne on it, and then for the longest time, that was like one of her things that she'd be like, yeah, like just like when I miss you, I like, and
Right.
like it's that's what's cool about like smell, and like especially like say they have a specific perfume they wear
Oh, yeah.
that'll like hardwire that memory.
Oh, yeah.
in your
I seen
brain.
those triggers.
And even being honest, because my wife and I are very open about this, I have ex-girlfriends who like have certain perfumes that
Yeah.
to this day I'd smell that perfume like, oh,
Ugh,
I
gross.
remember her.
Diamond.
Yeah, no. If I agree, I
Really?
was gonna say
Really?
the flip side of that is 10 years later, if I smell cucumber melon, I'm like that bitch.
Oh, she did me so dirty.
That diamond perfume, man. So when I lost my boyism to a man, that's what she wore, and she was an older lady, man. She wore that diamond, so now, and I could taste it, I could smell it. I just,
she doused herself with it.
It's so crazy, man.
Do not
But-
like it.
And that's another thing with smell, though. Like on that topic, is there's perfumes now that I smell that will. It's not just ladies, not to like sound ignorant,
You
but like
smell.
certain
No, I'm just
perfume.
kidding.
No, certain perfumes that I'll smell and I'll be like, oh, that's like for like an older lady. Like,
Yeah,
for
no,
like
absolutely,
a more
absolutely.
like a lady, and then there's ones that are like for, almost occasion wise, or ones you smell that like, oh, that smells like like
Yeah, you
older-
smell that, you think of a certain thing,
Yeah.
like a night out.
Yeah,
or,
yeah, I could. Yeah,
something
you
like
can
that.
wear a blouse with this perfume.
Or
Yeah,
an older
yeah.
woman that smells younger. Like, why do you smell like you just got out of high school? And that's another thing that kills me with like the dress. Like, you're an older woman. I expect you to dress a little more. Not, I want to say older, but like we in our 30s. Like
Yeah.
we don't dress like we still in high school.
Right.
Like.
Well, that's
Yeah,
the thing
I
is,
feel
is,
that,
is
man.
I'm a big advocate for like dress for what makes you comfortable, but in the same vein, like it's also guys like us, and not even guys like us, human beings in general shouldn't be knocked for not being interested in it. Because like you bring that up, like I'm not like say I was single right now and I went to the club and I saw some chick and she was like wearing like something super scandalous looking and like
Right.
very like I'm without a doubt going to be attracted to her
Well, yeah,
physically,
yeah.
but like. I also am going to be the same guy that's like, oh, that wouldn't be like girlfriend material.
No.
Like,
Yeah,
oh,
no, no,
she-
no, yeah,
She
like
wearing,
my
like, she
lady-
wearing out to the,
Yeah, I
to the
want
club
my-
on
mine,
her.
not mine.
Yeah, she
I
wearing
want
this stuff.
I want my lady
And like
out there with that.
not in a bad way, but I also feel the same way because I think with this new kind of PC era where people are like, oh, like you're like shaming and stuff. Where I'm like, no, absolutely not. Like not at all.
No, I will
But
shame if I feel
in the
like
same
I'm
vein.
I am proud.
Yeah,
I
but
will let you know.
For me, in the same vein, that's like if I tomorrow started wearing my huge jeans, sagging them off my ass, and wore my hat sideways in a big shirt, and Felicia was like, "Yo, like, what are you doing?" Like, I wouldn't be like, "You're shaming me."
That's my body, my choice.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, man. Yeah, I also speaking of how you were just talking about scantily clad women, I was thinking like sometimes I don't go out to the bars so much anymore, but when I would, sometimes I would see people and it'd be like the opposite. Like you got enough clothes on? Like I remember I ever see this girl with a big baggy t-shirt, some baggy sweats, and some slippers. Fuzzy slippers. And I'm just
You
like,
didn't even try.
why? You didn't want to.
You got out of bed
And
and
it's
was
a
like,
Friday
I'm going to
night?
the bar.
You
Yeah, Friday, Saturday night, and
It's
there's
11 o'clock.
Shitload of people in there, and I'm
It's
just like,
funny. The club dynamic is so
I
funny,
also
though.
wouldn't want that girl either. you
No.
know, like
Yeah.
absolutely
Exactly,
not,
and that's
so.
a good example. Like for me, for personal taste, like again, look like you care about yourself.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I would got to be able to go out in public with you.
yo,
If I'm
if you want
ashamed
to,
to go
if
out
you
in
like,
public
you
with
want to
you.
like chill at home, dress comfortable, and like go to Walmart just in like some sweats and some flip flops, whatever. But like if we're going out for a night, like out to
Yeah.
dinner, like
Okay, so real quick, Cyrus just made me think of a question I want to ask both of you guys.
purple.
Purple Nurple.
Did you know? In a war.
So, so God damn it, man, you done threw me off.
My bad.
Okay, so how you talking about? You said something about a woman looking presentable.
Yeah.
So I used to work with a guy who was married. He was like 23 at the time, and his wife, he said, she's not allowed to go in public, even if it's just to the grocery store, without makeup and dolled up, because she's an extension / representation of him. So I'm like, bro, what if your baby needs milk and she just goes and no makeup and sweats?
To me,
real
and this
quick.
is me giving my genuine input. That's transcending into like male chauvinistic controlling
Yeah,
behavior. Like,
I
that's
agree.
Where, that's
I think
unhealthy.
that's exactly what it is.
Mad unhealthy.
I
Like,
can, I can kind of see where that's coming from, but there's overdone in my
Yeah.
opinion. Like that's too much, man. Like you cannot go outside without you got to be on fleek. No,
Yeah.
like no. Presentable means like brush your motherfucking hair.
Yeah.
and you know, don't
Don't-
look like a fucking bum because I
Yeah.
can see that as a representation of myself. Like yeah, like come on, man. I don't want. My mom talking about, damn, I seen your woman, man. You
She's
should've seen
looking
you.
busted.
Yeah, like,
Well, I think there's a
in
difference
that
between
sense,
like,
but,
oh, she
like,
threw on a t-shirt and some jeans
yeah.
went to the store, opposed to like somebody being like,
her
yo,
hair
like-
was so nappy,
rolling out of
bro.
bed,
Like, no,
not
yeah.
brushing her teeth, not
Yeah,
washing her
no.
face, you know, stuff like that. But
But I think that extends to even us. Like, one thing that Felicia
Yeah, I
gives me crap
definitely got
about,
to
though-
comb my hair before I leave.
Yeah, you do. And it don't help at all either.
It don't.
But it's crazy though, because I just remember we had a whole debate about that at work, and there was like 2 guys who agreed with him. But I'm just like, bro,
You
you
know,
fucking
no,
serious?
that's
I can't-
that's mad unhealthy to me.
Yeah, I'm
I-
like, so your baby, you just gonna let your baby go without because your wife needs to take 30 minutes or whatever to get
get
herself
ready.
together?
No, that's too much.
silly.
Like I said, I can a little bit like see the point of what he was saying, but like, dude, that's too much. That's called
on
control.
Yeah, it's on an extreme scale.
I bet he whoops his wife too. I mean, let's just be honest. I mean,
Honestly, that I wouldn't have thought that before I heard those words, but
well, that,
it's
anytime
possible.
I hear like controlling that type of control, I automatically think like domestic because you're like, well, what if she's like, no, I don't want to? Then I can see you becoming aggressive, controlling. You know, like I just see a whole scenario playing out from
Yeah.
majority of those types of people. Most women that come from domestic is, yo, controlling. I couldn't even go out the house. I couldn't do this without doing that. You know,
Yeah.
or my clothes were way too revealing, and all it was a little V-neck. You know, I mean, it's
It
just
reminds
a whole
me
bunch
of
of
a
problems
Dane
with
Cook
that.
joke. Dane Cook has a joke where he's talking about how he's like, man, he goes, some girls will stay in the relationships for the dumbest reasons. Well, you'll be in a relationship like the worst dude in the world, and the girl like, Karen, you have to leave, and she's like, it's not that easy, Sarah. My CDs are in his truck. You're supposed to walk away from 10 or 20 CDs. My CDs.
My CDs are in his truck. That's hilarious, and it's so like wouldn't even matter today. Like,
Right. My
That's hilarious.
CDs are in there.
No, when it comes to relationships and like kind of like branch out on that topic,
Tim McGraw.
I truly feel like a truly healthy relationship has to be met with a level of like individuality.
Absolutely.
yeah,
Yeah, like
Absolutely.
because I think for so long,
Who wants a robot?
people get in this like this mind state of like relationship where it's like I can't live without you and you shouldn't be able to live
That's
without me.
terrible,
Yeah, where you
man.
should be like, yo, we're individual. Like, yo, like we are a great team. Like solo, I'm amazing. Solo, you're amazing.
Right.
Together, we're fucking fantastic.
It's so
we
crazy.
do things
Yeah,
together.
like-
It's so crazy because that just makes me think like you'll see people be in a relationship for 3 months and be like, oh my God, I don't know what I'd do without him. Like, bitch, you'd probably
3
be doing the
months ago.
same shit you was doing 3 months ago. Relax. Like, what is it? And also, I don't really get those people who have to be in a relationship. Like,
Yes.
oh, well, if I'm
They'll jump
single,
in.
I just can't function. I have to be in a relationship. I don't understand. It's like, do you even know yourself? Like, have you taken time
and that's
to
a
know
good
yourself?
that if we get like a philosophical, because I think people listen to the cast again are gonna be like, yo, either these guys are straight up
No,
like
well, I pre-
pretty hood or like super deep. Like it's like, yo, like what's, but you're talking
Balance,
to some gentlemen.
bro,
Yeah,
balance.
yeah, exactly, balance. You're talking about to some gentlemen who have like been through all sorts of different walks of life and experienced a lot of different things.
We're all in our 30s.
Yeah,
we're
exactly.
seasoned. I'm
Yeah.
33. Think you're 31, the youngest one,
Correct.
right?
Yes,
Yeah, I
yes,
mean,
sir.
we're seasoned, man.
So with that, I feel like you said, balance is key. But you want to get like philosophical again. Is if you can't love yourself, like truly,
Right.
like I feel like
You-
that.
yeah,
I feel
you
like
can't-
the base, the norm should just be acceptance of like, yo, like accept that you might never be like madly in love.
just
like,
accept
you know,
yourself.
yeah, like you, like
I
like-
prefer to be in a relationship. Honestly, you know, I just like the company. I like the fact of coming home to somebody and building a life. That's just, you know, that's what I envision for my future. I
Yeah.
will be married. And,
I'm
and
with you on that,
know.
man. But I think that's different than being like, oh, I can't function if I'm
Yeah,
not in a
no,
relationship,
exactly.
you
man,
know,
my black ass still getting up, going to work, still cooking my food, you know, still doing my thing, man.
Yeah.
You know, I do prefer to be in a relationship.
Yeah, that's why I think that
just-
individuality is important just in a relationship because you also I think this is a
Some
norm.
people are too much like. I have a good friend, man. He's just too much like anti. I don't want to be with nobody. I'm like, that's not healthy either.
That's
you
not,
know?
no.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just-
exactly. The
Yeah.
polar opposite of that. Of
You
like,
know what I'm talking about. I'm like, dude, man, I talk to him all the time. He's like, nah, man, I can't. Women will take
Love's
everything.
not
They'll-
real.
They'll take everything from me. I gotta get my toys first. I'm like, bro, you like 40. man. Like, you have your toys, bro. Get you another toy, a fun one that you can wake up next to. That's the best one, you know. So
Good Lord, man.
not calling women toys, you know. I'll just
yeah, it's
you know.
Disgusting.
a little
Wow.
touchy.
There goes the podcast. We've been canceled.
Yeah, sorry guys.
That makes me, you call them toys. That makes me think of this thing I seen on Facebook the other day. So, I seen some girl was like, "What are you talking about, boys? All they are sex toys that don't, or no, all they are dildos that don't vibrate." And some dude responds like, "Yeah, whatever, fleshlight that cries."
Oh, there you go. Hey, that's good.
I saw a funny meme that was like it was like women. It'll be like, oh, you guys are gross. You'll fuck anything. And then it said also women, and it was like a big old vibrator that had like a double nozzle on it and gyrating like things on it, ribbed. And it's like,
Yeah. Oh, you want to talk about us? Yeah, we're primal, huh?
Gosh, man, we got a little NSFW on this
yeah,
episode
we
too.
did. We did.
Sorry about
The
that.
R-rated cast.
So, you know what, just on this topic now that we could talk about, I made the joke about young old heads getting canceled. What is your guys' opinion on this whole Dr. Seuss situation?
I will say I can't speak too heavily on it because I don't know the ins and outs. But from what I've seen, people have this misconception that a book was banned.
Yeah.
When I thought they ceased production. I don't know.
So this is where I think the internet is hilarious to me, just at how people like just they'll take the grain of salt and then run with it.
Yeah.
They'll,
Like they saw your meme. They didn't actually search anything. They just saw your meme.
Yeah, well, because
and
I see
shared their
people.
opinion.
I see people. One person that posted today along the lines of, "We're like, this is the America we're living in. These are the people you want in charge that are like whatever and stuff like that." And what a lot of people don't understand is the Dr. Seuss organization is the one who made this choice.
Yeah, it's not like there's
it
legal
wasn't. Yeah, it
action.
wasn't like the government was like, "Hey, you're like, there's like some like protocols and like rules and whatever standards you're breaking." The organization itself was like, "Hey, pretty insensitive stuff in our books. Like, we're choosing to like stop printing them and remove them from shelves." And then the internet's just taking it to like, there goes our freedoms, and it's like, yo, like that's it's like I could equate it to me as a musician if I had something on Spotify that was like very like raunchy and nasty
Yeah,
and talk
talking
about and stuff, and then one day I was just like, you know what, like that's not a part of me no more,
Right.
and then me deleting it and be like, oh, you're like America's going downhill because this person decided, you know.
My right.
So I don't have much input on that because I missed it. I got a great text message just a minute ago, so I'm pretty excited. I don't want to dive into it, but so I missed that conversation. Sorry, fellas.
Okay, yeah, I ain't got a whole lot of input on it either, man, because I don't know enough, and I'm not gonna be like one of these douchebags is
That pretends I
taking
know.
the
All
run with the narrative.
Yeah,
you know?
all I know is that I thought it was funny that again the Dr. Seuss organization themselves is like, yeah, let's ban. Like,
was like their
we
choice.
want to get rid of the book,
But
and then
what the
everybody's
heck?
like,
Somebody was like, "Oh, well, they should look at the rap lyrics before they do the Dr. Seuss thing." It's like, bro, do you even understand what's happening now? Like, do you know?
the funniest one to me is the WAP comparisons, right? Oh, WAP is the #1 song, but this, and it's like, yo, first off, ain't nobody trying to defend WAP.
No.
We're all aware. It's nasty.
It's
We
a
watch
raunchy
it for a
song.
reason.
It's raunchy. We get it.
When
It's
I come
also-
into my boys, my little boys in there grinning, watching it, I'm like, hey, with your little nasty ass, get out of here, you know.
They're all grounded.
Wow,
Yeah,
man. Like,
nobody's
what the
defending
hell?
that. We know what it is.
Yeah,
we
it's
know what it
exactly.
is.
Yeah, I think it's
so
funny because
weird.
people use the WAP as a comparison. Like, you
like-
guys idolize the song. Like, nobody's like, this
We do-
Christian song.
Yeah.
We
is
do
so
not
good.
idolize that song. We enjoy the music video and hearing a woman speak like that. I mean, it is okay for your
It's a
woman
dope
to be
song,
like,
bro.
yo,
It
I'm
is.
nasty.
I like
you know?
that
It
song.
is
Straight up.
absolutely. I think it's just if it was just the album cut, it wouldn't have been nearly this much uproar about it.
Well,
think,
I also think that we talked about this the other night, but they act as if that's new.
Yeah,
because
like
you have the
there's-
songs like My Neck, My Back.
Yeah.
Like songs like that.
Lil' Kim,
Lil Kim's
bro.
a good
Lil
example.
Kim,
Dirty.
remember that song from the '90s?
Foxy,
Put it in
was
your
it
mouth.
Foxy?
Yeah, put it in my
Foxy
mouth.
was nasty
Well,
too,
it's
yeah.
funny. What I think's happening is this newer generation, and I hate labeling it with like the Gen Z and whatever, you know, like,
Yeah.
but just this younger generation, because of them, like, they're like, you know, starting to grow into young adults and they have access to the internet. They're finding all the stuff we grew up on and they're like hyper offended by it now.
Yeah.
And like and
Retconning your offensive
Yeah,
being
basically,
offended.
yeah. It's just so like because the one other they're right now it's went viral on TikTok, trying to cancel M. Yeah, did you see that?
What?
Trying to cancel Eminem?
Eminem because
I seen Crook said something about
because
that, but I didn't
he
know
has
that.
a song with Rihanna, and in the song, it's I think "In Love with a Monster," and the whole thing is about a toxic relationship. And M's ending verse is talking about like I'll chain your ass to the bed and set the house on
destructive,
fire,
right.
yeah, and whatever. And people like this younger generation on TikTok was like cancel him, and I'm like, yo, you think that's bad? Go
man-
listen to the man's catalog.
I
That
hate you
was-
guys for that.
That
I mean,
was
come on.
nothing.
That's why go to that level of censorship, man? Like, come on, man.
I also
That's-
think now
it's
Okay.
you know there's a lot of going on in the world with all that, and everybody's just looking for something and trying to find something.
What
you
are we
know?
going to be
Here-
offended
well,
about
here-
today?
here's
What
the-
about this?
Here's the next layer that we can add to this, and this is goes into the craziness of like this next era of
HouseNet.
entertainment.
Oh, sure.
This next level of entertainment that we're like stepping into. So back in the day, to be famous, you were like a talented athlete, musician, movie star, whatever.
Yeah.
Well, nowadays, people want fame. It's just innately something in humans.
No matter
like
what.
you want fame. You're gonna post a Facebook picture, and when like 100 people like it, that's gonna make you feel good.
Yeah.
That gratification. So now it's like this new generation, and I feel like maybe we've all been a little guilty of it. You can get fame in the weirdest ways.
Absolutely.
You can get fame by like you could have a post go viral. You could have a TikTok go viral.
Right. Yep.
And I think that's part of it. Is part of like these people like that that rush that they want that like that notoriety and that fame, that they're being like, oh, like what can I find that will get me a lot of attention? What can go viral? This
Hey,
person did this. Like what,
I pointed that out. I started this cancel movement.
Yeah, exactly.
Like it's so weird, man. I
You
just
know,
it's
majority
so
of those people with a lot of fame and all that, though, they hate it. They grow to hate it. You know, so I don't understand why we do.
Hey,
we
bro, if
have
I'm being
this-
real, and this is gonna sound egotistical as fuck, but like I don't mean
Most
it in that
things you
context,
say do.
But even being like, even being a local celebrity in like Rock Springs, like on the hip hop side of things, even that I've had moments where I've told Felicia, I'm like, yo, this would actually suck on a massive scale.
Oh, yeah.
Because like even simple as like I've told her before, like we'll be out and about and I'll be having dinner and I'll just have some random person come up and try to have like a 20-minute conversation with me at dinner, and be like, I love your stuff and this and that, and I go,
Right.
and when's your new music coming out? And I'm like, yo, like I legit like. I'm really am just trying to chill with my family.
Right.
It's
Right.
funny too, man. 'Cause I've known you forever, and I hear people like some of my coworkers will say they seen you somewhere, but they refer to you as Sycamore Trees.
Yeah, exactly.
And so it's just kind of wild, man. You are a local celebrity. I will say
So,
that.
and so like you said, like on that level, like I mean, it's a double-edged sword though, because I either love it or like, because I remember one time I went to KFC. I remember this just because of the particular event, but I had my buddy Doobie with me, and I went to
Doob, shout out to Doobie.
Shout out Doobie. But I went to KFC, and he's sitting in the passenger seat, and I go and they open the window to take the money, and the girl's like, oh, you're Sycamore Treasy. And I was like, yeah.
Oh,
And like,
gosh.
and she
you
went
open
and
your
called
shirt
the
up a little
other
bit?
like people over, and they were like giddy with excitement, asking for my autograph.
that's
And then
cool,
as
man.
we drove away to Doobie, like it was silent, and then as we drove away, I went, yeah. And he's like, shut the fuck up, bro. And I was like, yeah. Just they gave me like a bunch of free cookies and biscuits and shit. And I was
That's cool.
That's cool, man.
and so like there's a double-edged sword to it, because of course it gasses up your ego, but at the same time it's like,
Yeah.
and also it puts a lot of extra like even like drop of music. It's I fell into this like really bad pattern of
I have to put something out.
I have to put something out, and all, but it has to be good. It has to be up to standard. It can't just be, you know, like it has to be dope, and also it can't be polarizing. I can't drive a certain populace away. You know, like
Right, and that's the
fans.
worst thing about putting out music, especially once you start getting known. That people think you are good. You know, you doubt some of the stuff that you put out. You like, you got this. I have to be so lyrical. Sometimes you get away from the art of the music.
Yeah, just making
you know?
music, bro.
Yeah, I mean,
Like you don't have to approach every project like it's some kind of magnum opus. Like
right.
it don't
I
have-
am not dropping that because
Yeah.
it sounds like trash.
Yeah, you just gotta
No,
like, yeah,
no,
because
that's-
that was some of the funnest times making music, bro.
Yeah.
The centric back on like the Wyoming you've seen, bro, is like me, you, Crook, and Zach like chilling in like either my grandma's kitchen
Yep,
or like in the basement, or like Crook's old apartment, and like, and even
Yep.
like in your old
In the
place and stuff
trailer,
like that, in the
man. Oh my God,
yeah,
A40, bro.
yeah. Like all these.
So I see pictures from back then. I'm like, why? How was I even getting laid? Because man, it was such a run down, disgusting, vile
Oh
But
god.
we were in there.
Man,
we were
we
in there
was-
cutting records. But
slapping skins and cutting
making music and knocking boots. That's about
Man.
it. No, but I think about
Clapping cheeks and clapping
I
beats.
think about then. Back in the day, we'd like sit down to write a song as a group, and it'd be like we'd play the beat.
Yeah.
Somebody throw out a concept, we'd write it, and it was just like in the moment, and I'd be so proud and happy.
love
Just
that
vibe.
stuff, yeah.
And then when I started getting further in my career, I was hyper analytical in my own stuff. Like
Oh,
what
you
should
got
I-
real bad
Yeah,
for it,
like
man.
like
Yeah.
where I'm like this song has to play off this song, and this
Right.
one has to have this, like, you know, and then it stopped being fun. It started being like
Right.
actual work, and I was like,
Right.
okay, this ain't like very fun anymore. I shouldn't dread going to the studio. Like I should want to go record. I shouldn't be bummed to go record. So
Yeah, so we are coming up on the hour and a half mark. Do we still want to do this this or that segment? Because this could get a little...
I feel like
We could probably hit it quick. I mean, if we do it quick.
quick.
Yeah.
The three of us,
quick.
Anybody listen to the
Quick.
podcast?
Yeah, like
Okay.
45 minutes, bro.
A quick 2-hour debate on
Okay, so Death Row or Bad Boy?
Bad Boy.
Death Row.
Yeah, you're the divider. Pressure's on.
Well, my documents, I didn't do my research. I think my coastal bias would say Bad Boy. But it's crazy because you think about it, I would say during the time where them two were feuding, I think Death Row was way more of a powerhouse.
Oh, yeah.
Like Bad Boy had like Biggie, Craig Mack, and then some R&B acts, but they didn't have like their roster
They didn't have
wasn't
like
stacked like Death
exactly.
Row.
Yeah, Death Row was stacked.
Death Row, Snoop, Dre, Pac, Corrupt, Daz, and like almost everybody on that label at that time when they dropped something, it went platinum at least once.
Mm-hmm.
So it's but then you hear about the behind the scenes stories of Death Row.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like
Suge Knight's
That's
the
the
thing
bad
for me.
part.
Yeah,
Suge was
Suge just
just
a nasty.
Strictly music wise, man, I didn't get to know about, you know, Bad Boy and all that until later on in my learning about hip hop. You know, on this side, I'd have to say we're pretty heavily, at the time, was pretty heavily invested in the West Coast because more West Coast music came this way because it's easier.
Yeah,
No, no,
yeah,
but
that makes
also-
sense, yeah,
But
yeah.
also, it was the more like catchier like stuff. I think.
Yeah,
that, like
it made
was
you
more
wanna
like
dance,
radio,
you know?
radio stuff.
Yeah.
And stuff. That, yeah.
So that's why I guess I'd be biased to the Death Row over Bad Boy.
Yeah,
I think they were kind of different too. Like you look at Death Row's like gritty, gangster, you know, badass, and then Bad Boy was more like the shiny, happy rap, champagne popping,
Yeah.
you know,
Classy
dancing.
gangster, you know,
Yeah.
not grimy gangster.
Yeah,
Frank-
exactly.
Frank-
Yo, that's a great
like,
way
yeah,
to
like
put
Frank
it. Yeah,
White
yeah,
type shit. Like
yeah,
Frank White,
like,
yeah, like that whole persona.
you know
yeah.
what they call the party champagne type of rap. So I think they were different.
And bullshit.
I think honestly, I don't know that we would even compare them so much had Biggie and Pac's stories not been intertwined the way they were.
Right.
Like it would have probably just been two different crews in rap.
Yeah, it'd have been. They would probably would have looked at it like in the '90s. You know, you had your two groups.
These
yeah.
two
Yeah.
different sounds.
Yeah,
like,
that were amazing.
These are
because
the two-
the South really wasn't. You didn't talk about the South.
Yeah, not
in the '90s.
Yeah, not at that point.
No,
and,
not till about the 2000s.
Yeah, I
think
would
is
say
when they
early
came.
2000s. The South became more prominent. You did have like Outkast and stuff in the 90s,
But there wasn't like. I don't think they was like, hey, we're the South. You know,
Yeah.
I think who was it that was the ambassador for that one? I think it was
the
Pimp
South?
C. Yeah, wasn't Pimp C really trying to put on
I
for
think
the
yeah, no,
South?
I do think yeah,
You
Pimp
know?
C
Yeah.
was
for
a
sure.
huge like he was a
Like you got-
front runner,
you
a
had your-
pioneer of
Yeah.
the Southern scene.
You had your rappers that were proud from being from the South. Don't get me wrong, but I'm not saying that they wasn't like, hey, But I feel like he was.
I feel like the late '90s. I would probably say because you think about the emergence of Cash Money, No Limit, and
Right.
then 3-6 Mafia started coming
yeah,
in
Tennessee.
and stuff like that. So, but back to the topic of these two labels we were talking about.
I told you we shouldn't jump.
Oh gosh. So I think like you hear all the backstage stories about Death Row and Suge extorting people, and they said he had Pac on the hook. Even if Pac had survived, he would have had a hell of a legal battle trying to separate from Suge, just because he was indebted to the man. And you know, just him beating the shit out of people for fun and stuff. But at the same time, we don't know that much about Bad Boy, what was going on backstage there.
And
But
there is
what we
some-
do
there-
here,
yeah,
try
yeah.
to keep.
But you,
Diddy
you
tried to
think,
keep him out.
Yeah, but you think about it, man. Like nobody who was signed with Bad Boy during that era is still thriving. Like everybody's either dead or in jail or they just off the map. Like you don't know
The
what
90s
happened.
was rough, man. That was a very, very gangster
It's funny because
era.
the
You
more
know, that was
the-
heavily influenced, man.
Yeah.
I think that's what drove Death Row. He wanted to run it like a gang.
Yeah,
You know,
exactly. Very
Oh no,
good
100%.
point.
Yeah,
Very
it,
good
it-
point.
yeah, it wasn't just. He wasn't like part of his business was like, yo, like
gangster
I carry
mentality,
a bigger
man.
stick than you, motherfucker.
Killer
like,
Cali, man.
Like,
Like,
the
they
whole
was-
the whole thing with the Vanilla Ice, bro. I don't know
Oh,
if you know
yeah.
that story, but yeah, Suge fucking pressed Vanilla Ice to sign over like the rights to one of his like some of his music and
Yeah.
shit. Like
Like you have to kill me.
had him up on like a balcony threatening to throw him off or some
Throw
shit.
me,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah.
You know what? Throw me, man. I got great life insurance. My baby's gonna be all right, bro. And you're gonna go to jail, man. You
He
will pay
fucking-
for it.
Yeah, Vanilla Ice.
You
man,
you will
he's-
not get my master.
Yeah, you want to talk about one of the greatest?
Stored to
you talk
death,
about one of
man.
the greatest MCs of all time. Vanilla Ice is
Oh,
definitely
top
bro,
tier.
legend, bro.
Bro,
Arguably the
Teenage
best.
Mutant Ninja Turtles. Did you know
Yo.
that was? Did you know that
Oh,
was him,
gosh.
bro? I didn't
Goat.
I didn't know that was
Bro,
him
you
until
know
I watched
what-
it years later. I was
You
like,
know what blows my mind is he was big enough to the point that they gave him a movie in the early '90s
Yeah.
called "Cool as Ice," and it is the worst fucking movie
Man, it
I
sounds
have
terrible.
seen. It is awful. Like
I
he,
really like the
it's
movie. It's a good flick. It's a good flick. If you're bored,
You're his fan.
oh gosh.
all I'm saying is the plot. It gets pretty wild about midway through.
But
What the fuck is Vanilla Ice's movie about?
it's like you'll have to. It's just awful. Let's just leave it at that.
I can honestly,
'cause I
I'm
could-
like visualizing it in my head, and it ain't. Yeah, it's nothing.
Terrible.
It's like he goes to some small town and.
So picture
It's
Vanilla
dumb.
Ice. That's how awesome the movie was. And, like,
I
So
mean,
think
you're
about
not
Vanilla
wrong.
Ice. Boom, you got it.
there you
Yeah.
go. That's
There's
how,
your-
that's
that's
how
the
amazing that movie.
The back of the movie when they quit just Vanilla Ice.
Okay, so we are saying we would choose Bad Boy
I
2-1,
would.
correct?
2-1. Yep.
Yeah, I,
Bad Boy over
I
Death
didn't
Row.
really get to explain my part. So my side,
Okay.
very simple and quick. I am just biased. Biggie and
You're super East Coast heavy.
yeah, I'm East. Yeah,
you are.
we've literally had not butt heads about that, but we've just kind
I'm
of
getting beats, you know.
Yeah,
we
but
have
like
our
me,
times.
like we'll send each other beats like in our group and stuff, and like we're always like you'll send me shit that I'm like, man, I'm just not feeling it, and it's super like synthesized and West Coast, and then I send him the East Coast shit, and he's like, man, I'm just not feeling it.
Yeah.
But we always come together on each other's beats and handle business.
Most of
but-
the time, those are the best projects.
yeah, exactly. We'll end up coming and doing our thing. But yeah, but mine is just truly, I'm just more partial to Biggie, his story.
Yeah. And to be fair,
his
Bad
come
Boy,
up, yeah, like,
Bad Boy had a longer run because Death Row, they were probably dominant. I would say about 91 to maybe 97, and Bad Boy was
Still going, ain't it?
yeah, I know. It's
He's
like
still
Bad Boys.
running.
I about to say, bro,
Still
currently
putting
from
out.
then to currently,
Diddy, man.
yeah, Death Row's kaput,
Yeah,
bro.
so
That's
I mean,
done.
in terms of longevity and stuff, that might be the route to go as
Yeah.
Bad Boy. But
Yeah,
you know.
Diddy definitely made some right decisions early on.
Yeah.
And I think that the what happened between Biggie and Pac really changed the way a lot of people were trying to promote themselves and their business wise. Obviously not Suge with his dumb ass.
Yeah,
but,
he
you know,
fucked, man.
I feel like a lot of other people really took notice of. Like, hey, we are getting these young men killed, and you know, and it's predominantly black. So we're thinking we're getting our young black men killed, you know, and that's
yeah. And
that's
well,
not,
it's funny
that's not
that you
good.
bring that point up because as we were talking, I actually just had like a moment where I was like, man, hip hop is like such a weird genre because it really is like in the context of beef, for example. That's like a whole thing. People like you don't see country artists beefing.
no.
Like, could you imagine like somebody be like, "Hey, man, who do you
Tim
think won the
McGraw.
battle, Pantera or Aerosmith?
Right.
Who won?" Like, no, but
I mean, they definitely do have disputes, but you ain't gonna see it on
exactly.
You're not
They
getting
are
a record.
disputes. The thing about hip hop that became crazy is the disputes became part of the theatric.
Yeah, like
So,
you hear about. Oh, did you hear such and such?
Yeah, you
this,
wanted
this?
to hear the diss
Yeah,
songs.
absolutely.
Yeah, so and which double edged because I'm one of those guys. We've talked about it before when it comes to like lyrical like combatants and like battling and stuff like that. I'm 100% for it. But when you take it past music, that's where I'm like missing me at that.
Yeah,
point.
y'all doing
like,
too much.
Like
yeah.
if I'm just gonna out rap you and clown you, because it's kind of like with your boys, how you make fun of your homie's outfit and stuff.
yeah.
It's just fun. Who's clever? Who can come up
Right.
with the slickest line and stuff? But then when it starts coming into that like that beyond music territory, I'm like,
Yeah,
okay, like
bringing
you know,
up my family and all that. Like, come on, man. Like, that's too much. But hey, I want to say real quick before y'all end this. No Vaseline. I was listening to one of you guys' podcasts. She's talking about best diss track. I'm just gonna say the first time, like I've heard No Vaseline, but I've heard it and then like didn't listen to it, you
Yeah.
know. And then when the Compton movie came out, I actually listened to it and got the context from it. My mouth was wide open the whole time, like that. I cannot believe they are. No wonder why they was fighting. Because, I mean,
It's a vicious
Man.
diss track, bro. Like, just he came in hard. God damn, I'm glad y'all set it off. Like Ice Cube is a legend, man.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And
Shout out to Ice Cube, by the way. You know what I'm saying?
That
Nigga,
was-
can I get him one of them autographs, please? And
that
CD?
was that was a
podcast
bad
I
move
read.
too.
Hey, Ice Cube, if you're listening, if you want to come and be on
Yeah,
the
just
podcast.
just Rock Springs, Wyoming.
We ain't gonna pay
know.
you. We ain't got no money, brother.
Yeah,
Pro
we'll-
bono.
Hey.
We'll give you a little exposure.
Yeah, we'll help you. Hey, we'll help you know,
Help you
Ice
blow
Cube.
up.
We'll help you get exposed, bro.
We're guaranteed to have at least 24 listeners.
Played 24 times.
But that's 1 hour and 33 minutes, Nicholas.
so
I say it's
I
about
say,
time we
yeah, I
wrap
say
this
it's a
thing
wrap,
up.
so.
And I really got to urinate. So,
So do I.
I got
So
son's birthday
we'll
party
close
I
on
gotta get
saying.
to.
So this was our first guest appearance.
Yes.
We chose Cyrus, and when Cyrus hit me up and told me he's interested in the podcast because of the fact that very like-minded individuals,
Yeah.
and like I was
also, I appreciate you listening and supporting us, bro. That's
yeah,
dope. I
thank
appreciate
you.
that, man.
Definitely.
You know, there's always that concern with us being new with podcasting, like inviting a guest on and just having it go south and having that awkwardness. And I was like, man, with Cyrus, that won't happen.
Yeah.
Like, there's no scenario that's going to happen.
You're right. I feel like this was a great episode,
so I
man.
agree,
and
so.
I absolutely would like to have you back,
I
Cyrus.
appreciate it. I would definitely love to
So-
be back, man. I was looking forward to it all week. So yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to coming back.
If people want to be guests and or have an idea for guests, like
Have
tag
your
them.
girlfriend send me nudes, and I'll decide based on the
Best
quality
titties.
of her body.
Best titties wins, all right? Right in the comment section.
NSFW. That's what the name of this episode is going to be like. Do not listen to this one.
But I do want to finish off with this week, man. Rough week. So my little cousin, may she rest in peace, Destiny. She would have been 23 this past week. Her birthday was on the 2nd, so may she rest in peace. And then my little sister, Denasia, she just turned 18, which is amazing.
Which is
but
wild to me, bro.
unfortunately, I don't have a relationship with her like I would like, but because of her mom's doing, and it makes me a little sad. But I figured now, since she's technically an adult, I should attempt to reach out to her and
Definitely
maybe
can, man.
rekindle a relationship.
Definitely.
Makes me
And then
feel
last,
old, bro, she was a baby when we
yeah,
was hanging out, man.
she's grown now, man. And then last but definitely not least, this past week there was a shocking death in our community that just came out of left field. I don't know if you guys both know Angelica Fajardo, but
Benny, that's Benny's sister, ain't
yeah,
it?
Benny's older sister. Yeah,
Man.
she passed away. I think it was Tuesday, and it just came out
rest
of
in
nowhere,
peace,
man.
man.
She was a dope person, bro. I don't know.
Deepest condolences.
Deepest condolences to the Fajardo family.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
she was
definitely.
cool, man. Like, I don't know anybody who had a bad thing to say about her. It's funny because I actually, when I first met her, I got in trouble. I was doing work restitution. Yeah, trying to be cool and shit, right? And we were doing it together, us and a few other people I know. And she was just like took me under her wing, like was acting like my big sister and stuff. And she was great, man. And then I got to chat with her a little bit over the years, and she had 4 children that are gonna miss her dearly, man. It's really sad to hear, but may she rest in peace.
Yeah, rest in peace, man. Yeah.
Oh gosh.
Any closing statements there, Mr. Sweets Kane?
Me? No, yeah, that's deep. That's gonna be hard to
Top.
Yeah,
Thanks,
but,
Jay.
hey, I-
Okay, well, let me just change the energy real quick. If you guys didn't know, fruit shapes are back in tricks. So,
That's good.
that's
They don't look like
something to
blobs
be
no more.
something to be happy about.
Yeah, but no. On a real note, on another real note, I like what you guys are doing. Keep it authentic. I really think you guys should do that. This is fun. You guys got a great thing going. I don't think Wyoming has a podcast, and I don't think that there's anything wrong with us touching on Wyoming and letting our people hear it. You know
Absolutely.
what I mean by our people is people from Wyoming.
Yeah, from
you know?
yeah.
I mean, I think
The
it's awesome.
community.
Yeah, it's cool
awesome.
for the community. Listen, like I know those guys.
Yeah.
They're
I
talking about.
I remember when that happened.
yeah.
I was there.
I'm gonna be famous.
Like that one time, I was telling a story on the podcast about being in the vehicle in the awkward moment where my friend was on the phone.
Yeah.
and
Oh yeah,
arguing.
that was definitely me.
Yeah.
I told him after I heard that.
I told the story in the podcast. Be like, this awkward moment when my friend was on the phone and arguing, and it was
You
2
didn't even-
hours.
You
And
didn't
blah,
even
blah, blah.
fend for me, bro. Like I was trying not to fight so bad, I was so embarrassed. I was trying so hard, man.
So those stories might happen. Somebody might be like, wait a minute,
But
this
no,
is
hey,
about me.
It doesn't matter, man. Keep it authentic, man. I love it. I think it's great. You guys got great energy. I love being here. I'd like to be back, man.
I appreciate it, bro.
It's you guys got a good thing going here. Don't give up. Don't get discouraged and give up, man. Just keep on going, man. Keep
Keep
going.
it pushing. They
And I-
say the average podcast only lasts 7 episodes. So this is episode 7.
So if we make it to 8, if we
Seven.
make it to 8, it's solidified.
I may wake up next Thursday and be like, man, fuck that podcast.
done
7
with it.
seems just like the right number.
7.
We had a
7.
We had a good run.
Yeah, 7.
great
We'll
7
retire it at 7. Nah, to hell with that, man. We're gonna do at least 100 episodes.
least.
Yeah, keep it
at the
going.
very least. So
Keep it
you know,
going. I
We're,
think it's
we're
awesome.
locked in, man.
So my closing statement is I like to close on a positive note. I like to talk about mental health a lot. I personally suffer with some like depression, anxiety, some pretty severe anxiety, and I just want to say that before I started really reaching out and studying it, I felt genuinely alone. Just truly, nobody gets how I feel. And so if you feel that way, trust and believe like you are not in the minority. Probably in today's world, there's a better chance that you're in the majority. you
Yeah,
know, like,
the people are embracing and being more open about it these days. So
you're not alone. Don't be ashamed to speak out. You're not crazy. There's nothing wrong with you. And you got a friend in me. As long as like people like me exist, like reach out. We got your back.
Absolutely.
So and stop and don't be a shitty person. To the people out there who are shitty people and know it, stop. Don't do
Yeah.
that no more.
I'm
Cut it out.
gonna quote one of my favorite YouTubers: "Like what you like and don't be a dick."
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
It's called Couth.
Right. Yeah. So, Cyrus, will you do us the honors and do the outro?
You know, if I knew the outro, I really would. But I think it's hilarious. You fumble it every week.
God damn it! I'm trying to get out of it.
He can't get
I think
right.
it's awesome. I think it's
Okay,
great. He
this is
opens
it.
it, and I think
You
it's
suck.
Here he goes.
Okay.
I'm gonna write it down.
You have been tuned in to the Old Young Heads podcast.
The old young heads. We're the old young heads. The old young heads.
Okay, rewind. You have been tuned into the Young Old Heads podcast. I'm Nicholas Fletcher.
I am Jaquan Davis.
This is a hip hop
Sultry sounds.
This is a hip hop centric podcast where we talk a lot about hip hop and a little bit about everything.
You be remixing the hell out that, and you're never consistent.
Like, there's not a good tagline. I have no
Nah,
tags. Like,
it's
we don't know
not
what
right
he's gonna say.
Yeah.
I do need a
Sticky
note. Yeah, give me a note. All right, bye everybody.
Thanks for tuning in.
Peace.
Peace.
Bye.